Good morning. The budget will lead to dismal living standards.
Experts warn the Chancellor of the impact on workers who will be left thousands of pounds worse off by stealth taxes.
Well, earnings after tax are expected to rise by just 0.5% over each of the next 5 years.
A budget that promises change but delivers heavy price hikes for millions of people. Can this government turn around the British economy?
Also today, Sir Keir Starmer scraps a flagship pledge in the workers' rights bill that was, of course, championed by Angela Rayner.
And today is Black Friday. Our technology editor, Aaron Brown, is across all of the latest deals.
Yes, I'll be with you all morning going through all the deals and discounts that you can't afford to miss.
School staffing shortages are harming children's education and safety, according to a new report, with unions warning there aren't enough workers to meet pupils' needs to keep them safe.
Can't make this up, the scale, the magnitude of this butcher of a surgeon.
A Scottish public inquiry into a disgraced neurosurgeon has revealed that NHS staff destroyed critical theatre logbooks. That's despite a do not destroy order from the judge.
And as France is planning to restore national military service in the face of the growing threat posed by Russia, we're asking if we should bring it back here in Britain.
And sport this morning. Last night in the Europa League, Nottingham Forest wind the clock back to 1979 as they beat Malmo in the Europa League. Crowd trouble mars Aston Villa's win against Young Boys of Switzerland. And Newcastle complained to UEFA over the treatment of their fans in France.
Good morning. The strongest winds today are across northern and western parts of Scotland, but tomorrow we're going to see some very wet and windy weather spilling its way across the central southern parts of England and Wales. Stick around for more details.
It's just gone 6 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello and this is GB News Breakfast. It's Black Friday today.
Hurrah!
Who's looking for a deal? Are you going to be
Always
shopping
looking
today?
for a deal.
You looking for anything in particular?
Not in particular, no.
Cool.
Is that's the end of that? Well, that was good.
That's a good chat
Thanks
at the top
for
of the hour. Well, thanks for asking. I'm going to get my... Well, she's not up yet, so I can say this. I think I'm going to try and get my sister a coffee machine today for Christmas.
But but what's the Cyber Monday and the Black Friday?
Yeah, I don't know which is the better deal, to be honest.
So where does the line... Where does something become black from cyber?
I don't know if it does anymore. I think that's an old thing now, because all Black Friday is done online anyway.
But how long? But the whole thing's only been going for it's only, what, 5, 6 years?
I'd say 5
Is that
years
right?
in this country, yeah. But I think it's a good weekend to get your Christmas shopping done.
It's been going on. I have been buying some Black Friday stuff about a fortnight ago.
Oh.
It was like 70% off already.
Oh.
And whatever.
Are you allowed to say what you bought?
No.
OK. Again, good chat. So I think I might...
Well, it's coming up to Christmas,
But it could be for you.
It could be for me. It could be for me.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not. Oh, well, it could be, but might not be.
Are you going to be looking for anything?
You know what? I just end up surfing around, and then I think, oh, how much? Oh, no, that's stuff, and then I end up not doing anything, and then afterwards, then I think maybe I need one of those, and then I realise I've missed the whole Black Friday and the Cyber Monday, and then I don't know.
And then I start shopping for myself, which is never a
That's more like it, though, Ellie, isn't it? Really? That's what it's all about.
I mean, you do have a look. This is Black Friday, so you do have a look, and then you end up buying stuff you weren't thinking of buying anyway.
Well, this is it.
But at least it's cheaper.
I think a good thing to do is, if you see a good deal, think about it for a few hours, then come back to it later on.
But also, you've got to bear in mind, why is it cheaper? It's like there's great deals on, because I keep getting emails about the Samsung phones. So
yes.
There's great deals on the S25, but the reason for that is because they're bringing out the new one next month. Or in 2 months.
Trying to get rid of stock.
Isn't there sometimes where they will hike the price up a couple of weeks before and then bring them down straight after?
That's what they do say, but I mean, not everyone does it. Sometimes they are actual proper deals. And we've got the proper deals all being lined out for you this morning.
Yeah, Aaron Brown's with us throughout the mornings. He's going to be outlining all of the best
Can Aaron
bargains.
run them by this first, just in case? Because then what's going to happen is that you then, and then by the time we then go, everything's gone.
Yeah. Oh, look, we've got him standing there.
There he is, Aaron.
Oh, look.
What are you going to be outlining for us today, Aaron?
We're going to go over it all. We've got how to save on your monthly broadband bills, phone bills, new gadgets, getaways. Yeah, we'll go through it all across
Fabulous,
breakfast this morning.
fabulous. Because it's all of that stuff as well. It's how to save on your bills. There's good deals on holidays and flights.
It makes
All
me
the
slightly
shops.
nervous because I feel as if I might miss something.
Don't be.
Yeah.
Aaron's here.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
tell you
going
everything you
to
need
just
to
stick
know.
with Aaron. That's what.
Yeah. Right, we better move on because Labour has ditched its flagship plan to give workers the right to claim unfair dismissal from day one. The Workers' Rights Bill, it was all very controversial. But this is a major climb down, but businesses, unions and peers had revolted over the proposal.
Well, the qualifying period will now be 6 months instead of 1 day, marking a direct challenge to Labour's left and a sharp break from Angela Rayner's original pledge.
Well, it comes as warnings grow that Rachel Reeves' budget will deliver lacklustre growth and truly dismal living standards, with millions set to be worse off because of tax rises.
Well, let's speak to Theo Ushwood now from the Press Association, who's in the studio with us. Morning to you, Theo. Should we start with the Workers' Rights Bill, which has essentially been, well, ripped up?
Yes, this came out last night from the Department for Business and Trade, and essentially there was a pledge in the Labour manifesto, which was that the qualifying rights for to claim unfair dismissal was going to be brought down to just 1 day. At the moment, it's 2 years, and instead now the government has, after consultation, particularly with business, has turned around and said actually we're only going to bring it down to 6 months, and that's indirect. That's as a result, Ellie, of the fact that businesses, want something out of, need support. Unemployment has, we've seen it creep up in recent months. Businesses are nervous about taking on new members, new employees, and the Treasury knows, and Rachel Reeves knows, that if they were to impose this change, albeit in the Labour manifesto, that it could have a really negative effect on confidence for businesses in terms of taking people on. But as you say in your intro, Labour MPs are not going to be, particularly those on the left of the party, are not going to be happy, and it's likely that they'll revolt against the proposals.
Yeah, but it was always a pretty crackers proposal, to be perfectly honest. It was because it's very bad news for businesses.
Yeah.
They're going to be much more reluctant to hire people. But as you said, this is the breaking of a manifesto pledge.
It is it's the second breaking of a manifesto pledge in 2 days after Rachel Reeves. And it was interesting listening to Rachel Reeves and the Prime Minister over the last couple of days. They're not trying to shy away from the fact that working people, as they define them, are going to be paying more in tax as a result of that £26 billion tax hike. They're not trying to. I think they've probably learnt. People have realised that there are lessons to be learned from where they've communicated before, and they're not trying to, try and pull the wool over people's eyes and say, well, this isn't a tax rise for working people. They're admitting it, that people are going to be paying more and contributing more. But again, we go from that to it feels as if, this was a budget and these are measures where Rachel Reeves is constantly a bit like that. What do those children do, 6 and 7? It's sort of like, how do you weigh up on either side? How do you keep everybody happy? And the budget was trying to keep Labour MPs happy, and this, this measure with workers' rights is trying to keep businesses on side as well, because the numbers, that she received from the OBR were worse than expected, and it's also looking ahead to what we're going to see. She's done that thing a little bit like paying, the Chancellor's done that thing a little bit like paying the minimum payment on your credit card. The problems are coming, the problems, and the IFS Institute of Fiscal Studies said this yesterday, they're coming further down the track, and we're not dealing with the really difficult, the government isn't dealing with the really difficult decisions, taking the really difficult decisions now, hoping that things will get better. But of course, if you're only making a minimum payment on your credit card, and of course they're not directly comparable, but if you're only making that minimum payment, then you're not paying off the debt, and it's only going to get worse.
How is this going to go down within the party, do you think, the Workers' Rights Bill, and rowing back on it? And what kind of response do you think we can expect from Angela Rayner, who is still a very powerful and influential figure within the party?
I think there's going to be a lot of pushback. It was, the one thing I'd qualify with that is I did see something I saw a quote land yesterday from Paul Novak, from the TUC General Secretary, and it seemed to be that he'd been, he wasn't going all guns blazing against the government, but from knowing Labour MPs, knowing that this was something that was absolutely, this was a critical pledge within the manifesto itself, I think there'll be many Labour MPs who are very unhappy. But at the same time, to the point of that yo-yo effect, the Chancellor did come forward in the budget with that decision to lift the two-child cap on benefits. And so the hope within the Treasury will be that she's done enough, the Chancellor's done enough, and to persuade Labour MPs that she's on their side and not to revolt over this particular measure. But it is a really fine balancing act for Rachel Reeves.
But this is pure politics,
yeah, of course.
Isn't it? In the way this has been, the budget they knew was going to be bad. This gets sneaked out the day after, thinking it's not going to have as much impact.
Well, yeah. I mean, the budget was not. It was not good for business. The polling from the budget, I saw from YouGov, 6 out of 10 voters thought that Rachel Reeves had broken her manifesto pledge, and the Prime Minister's manifesto pledge not to increase taxes on working people. It is not a budget for your viewers here at GB News and indeed the rest of the country. It was a budget to try and persuade Labour MPs that she had their priorities at heart. But at the same time, the Treasury recognises that if you put up taxes to the extent to which they've done, 40 billion last budget, 26 billion this budget, that is going to have a knock-on effect in terms of people out there spending money, businesses out there taking risks, and to hammer them with this particular measure means that actually businesses are going to be much more. If it had gone ahead, and I think there still will be some nervousness because it's coming down from 24 months to 6 months, but if it had gone ahead at that level, then businesses would really, whether you're running a small business at your kitchen table or whether you're in the boardroom of a FTSE 100, drumming your fingers on the table thinking, can I really afford to take on these new employees knowing the additional risks that I'm now going to face?
OK. Theo, thank you very much. We'll see you in the next hour.
Right, at 11 minutes past 6, let's have a look at the weather with Alex Burkill.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain, some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures in the south still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast, Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now, it is the biggest shopping day of the year. The Black Friday sales, the perfect time to bag yourself a bargain.
Yes, online or in store, there are plenty of deals to help you with your Christmas shopping, and we're here to help as well, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Well, not us, actually,
Not us,
but our
actually.
technology editor, Aaron Brown, who has all the details. Morning, Aaron.
Morning.
So what are we looking at this hour?
So we're going to look at cutting your monthly bills. Obviously, Black Friday, a great time to buy Christmas presents, treat yourself, but you can also make savings for the next 12 months as well if you get on top of those bills. So there's 8.8 million people in Britain at the moment that are out of contract with their broadband, which means they could switch today and not incur any fees or anything like that. Virgin Media is offering 3 months of free broadband at the moment, so if you switch to them, you won't pay anything until February 2026. So that's great. When bills do start, they start from £27.99 a month.
And is that in itself a reasonable price for the package you're getting?
That's a decent deal for the speeds they're offering, yeah. The only problem with Virgin Media is they're connected to around 16 million homes in the UK, but not everyone. If you're not on Virgin Media's network, I'd recommend switching to PlusNet. They're an affordable option, and they're also offering a rewards card at the moment. So it's a prepaid debit card that you can then use for your Christmas shopping or even to pay off your PlusNet broadband bills each month.
OK, that's good.
Yeah. Finally, phone contracts. A lot of us pay for a handset and our minutes and data every month, but 14 million people have already paid off the cost of the handset but are still paying the same fee as they did when they signed up 2-3 years ago. So for those people, if you're not interested in a new phone, it's a good idea to switch to a SIM-only deal, like this one from Smarty, which have tripled the amount of 5G data you get each month. You're getting 50 gigabytes for £8, which will be loads cheaper than whatever Samsung or Apple phone you signed up to 3 years ago.
Fantastic. And you've also got deals we hear on phone bills.
Yes, so this was the monthly phone bill.
That's the
Yes,
monthly phone bills.
If you're
I
paying for
see.
your,
Right.
for a landline, that would be included in your broadband plan.
What are the pitfalls, though, in all of this? Because I often wonder, when it comes to things like data, who's going to use 50 gigabytes of data?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you can, in your phone settings on a lot of modern handsets, it'll tell you roughly what your usage is each month. So it's a good idea to have a check back and see how much you're using to make sure you're not overpaying. Because exactly that, people like to charge a small fortune for unlimited data when you're only using 50 gigabytes.
Yeah, and it is worth tailoring the package to your use. I mean, if you're streaming, you'll get through 50 gig.
Yeah, but it's just whether people are using it, whether it depends, because maybe younger people who are living in shared accommodation things maybe don't have the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
They're just streaming.
The
But
Netflix shows or
but
whatever it
if
is,
you're paying for your broadband, then you might not need as much on your mobile phone.
Definitely, yeah, that's the way to do it. Where possible, make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And all of these broadband packages that we talked about today are all unlimited. So if your phone's connected, tablet or whatever, you don't need to worry about paying extra if you're using more each month.
Oh, good.
Fabulous.
Good to know. Lovely.
Aaron, thank you very much indeed. What have you got for us in the next hour?
We're doing gadgets and getaways.
Oh, no,
My
I
two
like a
favourite
gadget.
things. Yeah, you like a gadget, I like a getaway.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
We're sorted.
We'll see you in the
Aaron,
next hour.
thank you. Right, at 17 minutes past 6, time for the Daily Reflection.
The GB News Daily Reflection.
Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm a vicar in the Church of England up in Middlesbrough. So in the last few years, one of the things that's been hotly contested is what it means to identify with a country. Ed Sheeran, who is Irish family but was raised in England, caused mild controversy for saying that he felt culturally Irish. Kemi Badenoch, who has Nigerian ancestry, said she didn't identify with Nigeria anymore. Personally, I grew up in Wales, but have lived my adult life in England, so I find I can cheer on the England football team, but never their rugby one. What does it mean for someone to be British, English, Welsh, Irish, and who gets to define it? Well, for those people who call themselves Christian, the Bible says there is another nationality that lays a greater claim on them. And when Jesus is speaking to Pilate in the hours before his execution, Pilate demands to know what kind of king he is. Jesus explains to Pilate that his kingdom isn't of this world. And while his followers might identify with any possible nation all over the world, they have a deeper identity, which is with Jesus' nation, an invisible nation that goes beyond modern borders and cultures and societies. So maybe it doesn't matter so much if I can't work out how much I'm Welsh or English or British. Maybe for me, what matters is that because of Jesus, I can claim to be part of God's kingdom.
Now, lots of you getting in touch this morning. I just saw one saying, do you see the same one?
I did.
Saying, wow, I didn't realise you two had legs.
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
I think it was from someone called Meg.
I didn't see that. I did just see one.
Malcolm says,
Malcolm.
can't believe you have legs. We do.
I did just see one from, I think it was someone called Margaret. It's disappeared off my screen. Sorry, Margaret. Saying, if workers don't have rights for 6 months, why would they bother going to work? Well, the issue is, it's like with if you start a job, you've got to. But your bosses need to know if you are capable of doing the job.
Yeah, you have a probation period, don't you, generally for 6 months, just to see whether you pass the test, essentially, whether they're happy to keep you.
And actually, you don't have those rights for 2 years at the moment, and that doesn't stop people
going to
work, does it? That people, under these changes, though, people will still have, like, rights to paternity leave and things from day one. But can you imagine hiring someone and then on their second day and they say, right, I want to go on paternity leave now?
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem a bit crazy still. It's why a lot of companies have been really, really unhappy with this legislation.
Yeah. So businesses will be happy with this rowback, but the Labour Party won't be, certainly to the left of the Labour Party. And what will Angela Rayner, what will her response be to all of this? Of course, this was all of her idea in the first place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think, gbnews.com/your say.
Well, there is also a brand new way to take part in the conversation by becoming a friend of GB News for free. Have a look at this.
Join the community and be part of our shows by becoming a friend of GB News. Get a direct line to join the conversations that you hear us talking about every day in our programmes by commenting on Your Say and voting in You Decide polls. Access opinion, analysis and behind-the-scenes videos as we share more from the stories that you see on TV and radio. Plus, watch our shows live and on catch-up anywhere, anytime. If you love our channel, become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code or going to gbnews.com/friend. Don't just watch our programmes, come and be a part of them.
Now, do stay with us. Still to come, a Scottish public inquiry into a disgraced neurosurgeon has revealed that NHS staff destroyed critical theatre logbooks. That's despite a do not destroy order from the judge. We're going to get more details on that next.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday Five.
You got me. You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight on the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace
Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
At 6:24, and a Scottish public inquiry into a disgraced neurosurgeon has revealed NHS staff destroyed critical theatre logbooks despite a do not destroy order from the judge.
Well, patients have likened the doctor to Dr. Frankenstein after surgeries have left more than 200 patients in agonising pain, paralysed or unable to talk.
Well, Ninewells Hospital patients learned the news from NHS Tayside as they began hearing opening statements at the inquiry this week.
Well, Tony Maguire has been meeting some of the affected patients.
From 1995 to 2014, disgraced neurosurgeon Sam Eljamel operated on more than 4,000 patients at Dundee's Ninewells Hospital. But from as early as 2009, NHS Tayside was warned about the injuries suffered by his patients after he allegedly botched spinal operations and removed body parts instead of tumours. Patients have likened him to Dr. Frankenstein and say they feel experimented on. Campaigner Jules Rose says she went under the knife to remove a brain tumour, but instead, Sam Eljamel removed her tear gland.
I went in for my first surgery in August 2013 for the removal of the brain tumour. But what I didn't know at that time was he didn't actually remove my brain tumour at all. He removed my tear gland instead. You really can't make this up, the scale, the magnitude of this butcher of a surgeon.
Patients say they were made to feel like they were just unlucky. But the neurosurgeon was placed on supervision in June 2013 and suspended that December. During this time, he operated on a further 111 patients, including Jules Rose. Now she has gathered together more than 200 patients for the start of the long-awaited Eljamel public inquiry.
When I woke up, I was completely paralysed down the right-hand side of my body. I was unrecognisable.
Once I got that operation in my elbow, it was fine, apart from chronic nerve damage right through my body. I'm on 36 tablets a day.
Why did it happen? Who let it happen? Because somebody knew, somebody employed him, somebody checked his CV.
The pain continued, but he always had an excuse for why, and you trust your neurosurgeon.
The inquiry, led by top Scottish judge Lord Weir, has begun hearing from 138 patients and 21 patient representatives, putting NHS Tayside under the microscope. In addition to Ninewells, the rogue surgeon operated on patients like Faye at the now closed Fernbray Hospital. Operators Circle Health have agreed to lift the 3-year litigation time bar for those impacted by private surgeries. And now patients are campaigning for the NHS to follow suit. But instead of inquiries and compensation, many say they'd much rather have back the time that was stolen from them.
You can't get time back, it's gone. Now, how long is this going to take?
Tony Maguire, GB News, Dundee.
Shocking, isn't it? Well, let's hope they get to the bottom of this and making sure it doesn't happen again. The trouble is, it always does somewhere.
Yeah, time and time again we hear these horror stories, don't we?
Awful.
Awful.
To be left with all of that. Anyway, all power to their elbows, these people who've come forward now. Right, it is 6:28, and if you are heading out to work or school this morning, you're up early. Here's your traffic and travel update.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Due to high winds, the A87 Skye Bridge remains closed to high-sided vehicles, impacting driving conditions. Meanwhile, high winds also affect the A55 Britannia Bridge until further notice. Turning to Hampshire on the M27 westbound at Junction 9, a broken down vehicle has led to the closure of one of 3 lanes. Now, on to train delays. Northern trains are replaced by buses between Corkickle and Whitehaven, and southern services face no trains operating between Shepherd's Bush and Watford Junction. Ensure you plan your journey accordingly for these disruptions. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Now it's time for the Great British Giveaway now, and it is the final day to grab your chance to win your Christmas on us. So you will have to get a wiggle on. Hayley Sparks is live at Leeds Castle in Kent for us this morning with all of the details. Morning to you, Hayley.
Good morning, Ellie, and good morning to you at home. Yes, I'm at the beautiful Leeds Castle in Kent. We're feeling very festive this morning because they have their magical Christmas lights on. And I'm here to tell you more about the Great British Giveaway. This is how you could win Christmas on us with a prize package worth over £40,000. We're going to give you £30,000 to spend in 2026. We're going to give you £10,000 to buy all of your Christmas presents. We're going to give you £1,000 of shopping vouchers to buy your Christmas dinner. And if that wasn't enough, you're also going to get the GB News goodie bag with our famous GB News Christmas baubles. That is your entire Christmas sorted, and it's all going to be with you in time for Christmas. How magical is that? But you will need to be quick because lines close at 4 p.m. today. Now stay with me because later on this morning I'm going to take you inside the stunning Leeds Castle. But in the meantime, you've got to be in it to win it. Here are all the details that you need to enter. Good luck, and I will see you later.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB 17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 8th of December. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck.
Right, don't go anywhere because Paul's here with all the sport in just a moment.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
I'm Michelle Dewberry, this is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christie is here. GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GB News family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection, tune in to GB News anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show Live, every night at midnight.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back at Sports Time. Paul Coyte's here with us.
Have you bought anything yet?
Morning.
What, Christmas presents?
Yeah, no,
I haven't even had a look. We've been working.
online?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we haven't
Well, you were
looked at
there
it.
in about 5 minutes ago. I thought, you know.
No, but we were looking at the bills.
Oh, is that what it is?
We haven't looked at the presents yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
fine.
actually, there's a big thing about people logging on and doing Black Friday stuff at the office.
Yeah.
It's very bad, so if
Not
we were
us.
doing it, it would be bad, wouldn't it?
I've seen Ellie shopping whilst I've been doing the sport.
No, never, ever, ever.
I have once.
It would only ever be
Very
for
upset.
news purposes.
Okay. Right, so we talk about the Europa League?
Yes.
I've got to look now. It was just a joke. Nottingham Forest 3, Malmo 0. Do you know there's a little historical reference there to Nottingham Forest and Malmo? Because they played in the European Cup final of 1979 when Nottingham Forest won. That's right, under Brian Clough. And then the late, great Trevor Francis scored the winner and sort of landed on a little round thing that looked like a shot put surface. Anyway, that was back in 79, but anyway, they play. And now, of course, now Ange Postecoglou's gone, we've got Sean Dyche in, and they're doing great because he's gone back to what they were good at, the way that they played before. So they won 3-0, breezed past them. Malmo, 24 times Swedish champions, and it's also the third successive win since the start of the year, so they're doing very well. Maybe that's what Liverpool should be looking at. Maybe they should be thinking, Sean Dyche, maybe he's the guy. Aston Villa beat Young Boys 2-1.
The Young Boys of Bern, is that them?
Yes, exactly.
Have I stolen your thunder there?
No, you haven't at all. But it has been asked, it has been mentioned today, what? But Young Boys of Bern, of course, we've been through that before, haven't we? Mm-hmm. But there was crowd trouble there yesterday. And, you know, did you expect this from, you'd think, Swiss fans? I don't know. But Aston Villa were very good, but there was trouble when the goal scorer, Daniel Malen, he ran... Well, they celebrated after they'd scored, as you would, but that's where the Swiss fans were. The Swiss head coach said that he thought they were doing it to white... Well, no, come on. If you're celebrating, the fans took it the wrong way, but it really was. It wasn't good. They fought police, they threw seats, they would chuck something that landed on Malen, so very bad. So, you know, we don't like to see any of that, but that happened yesterday, so well done to Aston Villa for the win. Celtic beat Feyenoord of the Netherlands 3-1, and Martin O'Neill, possibly his last game because he came in to sort things out and he's done an amazing job. I'd keep him if I was them. So that was a win for Celtic. Newcastle.
Yeah, what's going on?
Right. Newcastle played in Marseille. Now, Marseille have notoriously... We're talking about fans that can be a bit troublesome.
A bit argy-bargy.
Bit of argy-bargy. Now, also, the French police have got history with the way they've handled English fans. Now, this has been going on for years, where I think a lot of foreign police think English fans, they're going to be trouble. I think there's much less of this than there ever was. But some countries are overly heavy-handed with fans. I've seen it. I went to Barcelona. I saw Spurs play in Barcelona, and I was absolutely appalled by the way all the fans were there. Because what happens, and this is what then causes the problems, is that you get certain, whether they be security, whether they be police, and this is what happened in France. They've got their batons, and there'll be a bit of this. There'll be a bit of tapping. There'll be sometimes there's They get the pepper spray out, and this is when you've got supporters that they're almost herded like cattle, and it's really, really bad. And I've seen it before, and I've seen people get hit when there's no problem, and then obviously when you get that happening, that then starts riling people, and then they start getting upset, and then you start getting trouble after that. Now, the fans were told to congregate in a certain place, or place as the case would be, in Marseille at 4:30 in the afternoon, and then they're all travelling together in the metro. There was no problems, but then it started getting a bit, you get over there, you get over there, a bit of this. So then after the game, they had to wait an hour. They had to stand in a flooded area, it was because of a flooded toilet, and they're told they're not allowed to move. So they are treated badly, and this is what happens in a lot, like I say, in Europe. It's happened. I've got friends that have gone to see teams play in Italy, where they've been treated really badly. I've seen it in Spain. It seems to be Germany seems to be the best place of all, but a lot of it doesn't get reported because they go back and just say English fans, and it's not the case. So very bad. So hopefully, so now Newcastle have put a complaint into UEFA, and I hope something's done about it because it really is unfair and it's not right the way they're treated.
All right, Paul. For now, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Did I get my high horse there?
Yeah, no, good.
No, good.
But it's very
Well
important.
said.
Okay.
Well
Glad
said.
you did.
Now, of course, today is the biggest shopping day of the year. It's the Black Friday sales, the perfect time to bag yourself a bargain.
Yeah, so let's get the latest from our technology editor, Aaron Brown. Morning, Aaron.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm talking holidays now. British Airways is offering up to £300 off a package deal if you book through them. There's the website. The small print on that one is you need to spend at least £10,000 to get the full £300 discount, which might be a little bit pricey for some people. Luckily, TUI has got the similar deal. You can also get a £300 discount with them, but you only need to spend £3,500 on your package deal. And those holidays run from January 2026 to October 2027, so plenty of time to book one of those. If you're planning a staycation instead, the ticketing app TrainPal is offering 50% off all rail cards. That starts from midnight 01 tomorrow and runs for 24 hours. You'll need to be quick, though, because there's only 400 codes available. And lastly, Samsung is offering up to £250 if you trade in your old TV. They'll take it away and recycle it for you or repurpose it and sell it as renewed. They'll even take a broken television. They might even take this, to be honest, if this isn't loading any better. If you missed any of the details on that, you can find all of the T's and C's of these deals at gbnews.com/Black Friday. We've got everything here in an article for you.
OK, Aaron, thank you very much.
Now, still to come, drink together, stay together. That's what one study is suggesting. We'll have that in the papers with Claire Pearsall and Nigel Nelson in a moment. But first, if you want some holiday sun, here's a European forecast.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
The heavy rain across parts of Greece due to Storm Adele is now moving into Turkey. We could see some high rainfall totals building up. There's going to be some thunder mixed in, even some large hail as well. Further west, and a few bits of rain across the southern parts of Italy, elsewhere mostly dry. Much of Spain actually largely dry, similar for southern France, but some wet weather pushing into northwestern parts of Spain and also Portugal, and that will feed further southeastwards through the weekend.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
Presenter and businessman Jeff Banks joins us this afternoon. Jeff, so good to see you. Your piece on X was quite sensational. Can you tell people what you said? Because some people, X went down a little while ago. Some people may not have seen it. Can you give us a summary of what you said?
Yes, last August, I got a letter saying that I hadn't got a BBC licence. And I wrote back and I said, I've not watched BBC television for a couple of years now. I don't listen to BBC Radio, and therefore I don't want a licence, and I'm not prepared to pay for one. I then got quite a reasonable letter back acknowledging that, to say that it had been noted that my premises no longer required a BBC licence. Then, about a month after that, I started getting the first of a threatening letter that I didn't have a licence and that if I continued without one, I possibly could actually face a fine of £1,000. Then I got another one, and then another one. And then finally last week, I got the fifth, which actually not only was threatening the fine of £1,000, but actually saying I was now on a list that meant an inspector would be likely to actually call on me. And at that point, I felt that that was harassment. So I then wrote back to the BBC and said that you're now, in my opinion, harassing me. Either you stop doing that and desist, or I'll have no alternative to actually put it in the hands of my lawyers and they can actually fight the battle.
GB News.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun. No, he didn't say that, though. I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. We are going through the papers this morning in the company of Nigel Nelson and Claire Pearsall. Morning, you two.
Morning.
Nigel, let's start with you and the Workers' Rights Bill in the Times today. Day one protection of the workers abandoned, says
yes.
the Times.
And clearly it is actually a breach of the Labour's manifesto, but I think probably the right one. Well, I'm not sure the budget was, but certainly
6 in 10 YouGov responses.
I know. I think that this is the problem with the budget, that it certainly stretched the manifesto like a piece of elastic to almost breaking point. Not quite sure it broke it, but obviously people do think that it was a breach. This one definitely is a breach. And I think it's probably the right one, because the trouble with first day rights was that people weren't getting employed. So even the unions seem to be fairly neutral about this one. Paul Nowak from the TUC seems quite relaxed about it. But it probably is the best way to get people recruited.
Claire?
I think the whole bill needs to go. It was so badly put together in the first place.
0 hours.
Oh, here we go.
Fire and rehire, paternity rights on day one, sick pay on day one. These are good.
You think employers should take the hit from day one for absolutely everything to do with that employee? What happened to the fact...
But they're not now. They've got 6 months before you can have an unfair dismissal.
That's one part of it. I said the rest of the bill. So you've got sort of 300 pages pretty much of this bill, which was so hastily put together. It hits businesses really hard. It ties them up in red tape. It's going to add so many more costs onto businesses who are already struggling, who are already being hit in the latest budget. And now you just want to wrap them up in ever more administrative red tape. This is a government that doesn't understand businesses, a government that doesn't understand employment, or indeed how to write legislation. This needs to go.
But the whole thing about it is it's about fairness. I mean, surely getting rid of people to employ people on lower wages is not the right way to go, which is why fire and rehire goes out of it. 0 hours, although some people want to do it, they'll still be able to if they want to. But actually guaranteeing hours to people gives some sort of security.
How are you going to guarantee hours when your price
over 12 weeks?
The jobs market.
Over over 12 weeks the kind of hours you do.
Businesses now have to pay out even if they don't have the work for that individual to do so. What happens to the flexibility? That's why some people prefer a 0 hours contract, because they like that level of flexibility.
And some people, and that's fine. But the whole point of it is that over a 12-week period, you average out the hours that you've worked, and then you actually have a contract for that.
But then why are you making this so much more difficult for businesses? Now, surely that is a discussion to be had between
to be fair to employees.
But it's not being fair to employers, is it? You can't have legislation just written solely in one direction when the employer is the one who is taking on the risk. So why don't you ask the businesses how best to go about this rather than just...
Because they'd have said no all the way through. I mean, that's the whole point.
And for good reason.
The whole idea of the Employment Rights Bill is for fairness for both sides.
Oh, listen to you. You're becoming like a Liberal Democrat, aren't you? Fairness. Sometimes life isn't.
And in fairness to business, it's quite right to actually not have first-day rights that now will be for 6 months.
I think there is our little line of agreement. I think that's absolutely right, and I'm glad they've scrapped it, and now I want to see the rest of it gone, because I do think that this is particularly unfair on businesses. It's not going to help anybody get into the jobs market. The jobs taxes that have already been placed upon them, this is only going to put employers off even further.
In the meantime, Claire, young people are fleeing our high-tax country.
Following on nicely. I'm not surprised. I think that young people are looking at what opportunities they're going to have. So if they come out of university, for example, with an extraordinary amount of debt, they aren't guaranteed to be going into a job which is going to be in the profession that they have just got their degree in. And they're going to look at higher accommodation costs, the taxation, they're paying tax a lot earlier, and other countries are going to look so much more attractive to them. And I don't blame them. I think the opportunities in this country at the moment are pretty lacking, and young people don't feel particularly valued or wanted. So they are going to look abroad. And I think a bit of travel, a bit of working abroad actually is much better if they can come back to us. But
that's the question, will they come back?
I don't think they will. I think they're going to see that they can have a better life quality, a better work-life balance and better money and not be taxed by this government who is determined to take everything.
Bear in mind, they've been leaving before the budget happened, so it's not the budget that's made them leave. Also, we don't know actually if this has been happening every year anyway. It's the first time that age has been collected by the Office of National Statistics. So it may be every year you actually find an awful lot of young people leaving. I mean, certainly a lot go to Australia. I'm sure that the sun, the surfing and so on is actually really attractive for them.
But I think also...
And I agree with you, by the way, that it is good for young people to travel.
Yeah, no, they're looking towards places like Dubai. They're looking forward to...
Tax-free.
Yeah, tax-free earnings and that sort of work-life balance that they require. And I don't blame them for doing it. I think that we're in danger of losing too many people and losing too many good, skilled people overseas, which can't be a good thing for the UK.
Nigel, in the Mail this morning, there is a fireman who's been disciplined because people have been saying fireman.
Well, it's one of the reasons. I think the main reason is because he was actually in control of the watch, and it was persistent sexual derogatory remarks to female firefighters, which actually caused the problem. You are right. He also didn't stop people saying firemen rather than firefighters, but that wasn't the principal reason for him going.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that using fireman rather than firefighter wouldn't be enough to dismiss somebody, but he did seem to preside over quite a sexist workplace, and the female ex-rugby star, I think that's always important to know. I don't think I would mess with her. Put up with a lot of basically what comes down to workplace bullying. Now, I'm never one that suggests that you should go and dismiss people and you have to be able to stand up for yourself. But if it's prolonged and targeted and nobody is putting in any protections for her as a worker, then absolutely right, they need to be held to account.
Right, you two, do you drink together?
Well, I don't drink. Claire only drinks sort of occasionally, but we are both addicted to coffee. So
on the coffee together,
we drink our coffee together. Yes. So on the lines that couples who drink together stay together, which is what the story is about. On that basis, obviously we do, but it's down to coffee.
Does it help? Is it just a shared moment?
I think it is, yeah. I think it's the whole process. I tend to make the coffee in the morning, Nigel makes the coffee in the evening, and then we sort of mix and match throughout the day. But it's the sort of nice moment together to sit down and have a cup of coffee.
My auntie and uncle have always said the secret to their marriage is they go out, they live in Canada, but they go out on the porch together in the mornings. They make a big pot of coffee and they sit together and drink it for about half an hour, 45 minutes. They said that's the secret. Yeah. That's when they have their time, their chat.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? It's joining together, just sort of starting
over a pot of coffee in the morning. I think it's really nice.
That'd be nice to do in Canada, wouldn't it?
Would be. I think it's slightly warmer. Well, 6 months of the year it's slightly warmer, and the rest of the time it's about
nice, your auntie and uncle.
They're nice, aren't they?
All right, you two, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you a little bit later on.
Now, let's get a check on the weather. Is it going to be as nice as it is in Canada? I'm not so sure.
I don't know.
Probably as cold. Here we are.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain. Some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures in the south still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then, as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast. Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England, and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for sharing over 5 million comments on your say. Because when you talk, we listen.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Expect disruptions on the A87 Sky Bridge due to high winds and hazardous driving for high-sided vehicles. Severe winds are an ongoing issue on the A55 Britannia Bridge. In Norfolk, all lanes on the A11 northbound are closed following a road collision. Normal conditions are anticipated between 9 and 9:15 this morning. All lanes are closed on the A46 northbound in South Gloucestershire following an incident between the A420 and the M4 junction. Expect roads to clear by 9:30 this morning. And on the trains, Merseyrail faces disruptions at Liverpool Central, while Northern has buses replacing trains between Corkicle and Whitehaven. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the final week to see how you can enjoy Christmas on us. First, we'll give you an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash. Then we'll give you a further £10,000 cash to spend on all your Christmas presents, even the tree. Christmas lunch, that's on us too, with £1,000 in shopping vouchers to spend at your favourite supermarket. Finally, a GB News Christmas goodie bag. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB 17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m. only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Good morning. The budget will lead to dismal living standards.
Experts warn the Chancellor of the impact on workers who'll be left thousands of pounds worse off by stealth taxes.
Well, people's earnings after tax are expected to rise by just 0.5% over each of the next 5 years.
A budget that promises change but delivers heavy price hikes for millions. Can this government turn around the British economy?
On top of all that, Sir Keir Starmer scraps a flagship pledge in the Workers' Rights Bill championed by Angela Rayner.
And it is Black Friday today. Our technology editor Aaron Brown is across all of the latest deals.
Yes, I'll be with you all morning going through all the deals and discounts that you can't afford to miss.
School staffing shortages are harming children's education and safety, according to a new report, with unions warning there aren't enough workers to meet pupils' needs and keep them safe.
And as France is planning to restore national military service in the face of the growing threat posed by Russia, we're asking this morning, should national service be brought back here in Britain?
In sport this morning, Nottingham Forest wind the clock back to 1979 as they beat Malmo in the Europa League. There was crowd trouble, marring Aston Villa's win against Young Boys of Bern yesterday. And in F1, McLaren won't prioritise Lando Norris over Oscar Piastri as he aims to win his first World Championship.
Good morning. The strongest winds today are across northern and western parts of Scotland, but tomorrow we're going to see some very wet and windy weather spilling its way across the central southern parts of England and Wales. Stick around for more details.
It's just gone 7 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello and this is GB News Breakfast. Now, would you charge to have people at your house on Christmas Day for their Christmas dinner? Would you charge people for their Christmas dinner?
No.
No.
It doesn't seem right,
It's outrageous.
It doesn't seem right. But then cost of living, food's very expensive.
Well,
food
it
inflation's
is.
at like 5%, isn't it? It's really expensive.
You can't ask someone round and then go, by the way, it'll be £20 each.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It doesn't feel right, does it? But it's happening more and more across the board.
I know.
This influencer, a mumfluencer, which is an influencer who's a mum. She is charging £20.
I didn't guess that, did you?
Yeah. She's charging £20 a head for Christmas dinner. She says it's worth every penny. She's serving up a roast for 12 people. She's offering turkey, beef and pork. Well, I think that's too much, actually. I think you've overdone it there.
Yeah.
Maybe you could charge people less.
A friend of mine had the next door neighbour, I remember him telling me about this, had a New Year's Eve party, and then they were invited and said, yeah, we'd like to come. Yeah, that'd be great. And then said, it will be £30
No,
head.
that's not... you can't host a party and make people pay for their food and drink.
Outrageous.
No.
If it's a situation where you go, look, we'd love you to come over, but, we'll all put a few quid in and do it. It's the way you do it. If it's going to cost you a lot of money, maybe you don't then charge people to come.
No.
It doesn't
but have you seen the rest of it?
I have.
Go on. How much does this lady earn?
She earns £480,000 a year from online posts as a mumfluencer.
Yeah, but posting about what?
How to get the most cash from the benefit system.
Wow.
Yeah. The plot thickens. She says, I'm not ashamed. I consider myself a benefits influencer success story, and I should be praised for how I earn my money.
A benefits influencer?
Yes, as well as a mumfluencer.
A mumfluencer and a beneficencer.
Yeah, and she's on almost £500,000 a year.
Yeah. I mean, really?
Yeah.
Madam?
And she's charging £20 a head for people to come to her for Christmas.
Oh, I bet she is.
Whilst telling them how to get the most out of the benefit system.
Yes.
But she probably charges for that advice too.
I was going to say she probably does. That's probably part of the actual ticket price of having Christmas res house. Oh,
well, each to their own.
What a story.
But there you go.
Anyway, let us know, would you charge to have people at your house for Christmas dinner? gbnews.com/you'll say.
Now, Labour has ditched its flagship plan to give workers the right to claim unfair dismissal from day one in a job. A major climb down after businesses and peers revolted over the proposal.
Well, the qualifying period will now be 6 months rather than just 1 day, marking a direct challenge to the left of the Labour Party and a sharp break from Angela Rayner's original pledge.
Well, it comes as warnings grow that Rachel Reeves' budget will deliver lacklustre growth and truly dismal living standards, with millions set to be worse off because of stealth taxes.
Well, let's speak now to Theo Usherwood from the Press Association, who's in the studio with us. Morning to you, Theo.
Very good morning to you both.
What do you make of this?
Well, let's start with the budget. The IFS, that's the Institute for Fiscal Studies, they're saying that it represents, this budget represents a breach of Labour's manifesto pledge from 2024 not to increase taxes on working people. YouGov have done a poll which found that 6 in 10 voters see it as a manifesto breach. And I did notice yesterday, for all the comments coming in from people like the Prime Minister when he was out and about, that Labour, the Labour hierarchy are not trying to deny that it's a manifesto breach, simply saying, well, working people are just going to have to pay that little bit more. And the Chancellor made the argument that she's trying to keep, the increases in tax down. But it does mean that people are going to feel worse off. And the gamble that the Chancellor is taking is that actually if public services can improve, then at least people will have the chance, because of the extra investment and the extra money coming in from taxes, that people will at least feel that they're paying for something worthwhile, and that we're in a situation at the moment where people are paying sky-high taxes but not feeling they're getting the public services that those taxes merit. And that's the gamble. But having said all of that, the other analysis that I thought was interesting from the IFS, or crucial from the IFS indeed, is the fact that, they're making the point that she's actually backloading the pain. We're in the economy is in such a dire state at the moment that all the really difficult decisions are being put off towards the end of the Parliament. And the real gamble from the Chancellor is that actually things can improve to such an extent that in terms of, the tax receipts, GDP growth coming in, that actually by the time we get to the end of the Parliament, things will have improved, and therefore those decisions, those even tougher decisions, won't have to be taken. But it's a hell of a gamble.
It is a big gamble, and the reality is, the way things are looking at the moment, what we're going to see is all that pain coming on just prior to an election.
Yeah, and they've
shot themselves completely in the foot, haven't they?
Well, the hope is, and this is that if the oil tanker that is the economy starts to turn around, that the numbers we got, because of course in the latter years of this Parliament, the OBR, the Office of Budget Responsibility, that didn't have the greatest day on Wednesday, actually turned around and said, the numbers that they've put the forecast down in terms of GDP numbers, but actually the hope is that if the economy can start to turn around, then those numbers will get better. And the more, and as a result of GDP getting, improved GDP growth, then actually there will be higher tax receipts coming into the Treasury. But at the moment, it is a high stakes gamble from the Chancellor, and if it doesn't pay off, then she's going to have to take those tough decisions, and even tougher decisions, as you say, just before voters go to the ballot box.
Can we talk about the Workers' Rights Bill and this day one protection has been abandoned?
Yes, so this was a policy it was a promise in the Labour Party manifesto, which was to introduce day one rights from day one of your employment to claim unfair dismissal. At the moment, it's 2 years. Now there's been a compromise negotiation with business and the trade unions, so actually it's going to kick in after 6 months. That just relates to unfair dismissal. There is going to be a revolt from Labour MPs, and the trade union movement, by the way, is split on it. Sharon Graham, I know from Unite, is very unhappy about these changes, whereas somebody like Paul Novak from the TUC accepts that actually this has been part of a negotiation and there has to be compromise on the part of the left. I also noticed Angela Rayner is keeping her powder dry.
For now.
For now. Of course, it was only a couple of months ago that she was at the dispatch box as Deputy Prime Minister, extolling the benefits of day one rights to claim unfair dismissal, but that policy has now been abandoned. And it will be crucial to see how she responds over the weekend, having consulted with Labour MPs, particularly those on the left of the party, and whether those Labour MPs decide to stage a full-scale rebellion, or whether actually they decide that right now, given the perils of just getting over this budget and where the Labour find themselves right now, it might be worth just holding off a little while longer.
OK, Thea, thank you very much.
Loads of you getting in touch this morning on, as always, a whole host of issues, which is very, very nice.
Yes.
National service, which we're debating a little bit later on. Should we bring national service in this country? France is doing it because of the threat from Russia. But what France is, it's a sort of national service. It's not obligatory. You don't have to do it. So it's like a volunteer national service, which perhaps is not a bad compromise.
Yeah.
It encourages more people to get involved. Chris says, yes, national service for the UK for youngsters who don't find work within 6 months of leading education, or for those who commit crimes or antisocial behaviour. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go with that. Maybe I would. I'd have to think about that one, Chris. The idea that it's then seen as a punishment, I don't know, is that the right attitude?
But it can actually be really beneficial for you, can't it?
Well, it might bring them back in line. But maybe.
John says national service should not be brought back. Volunteers want to be there and they can be trusted when it comes to battle.
It's whether they get brought into line, and actually and find a passion for it, which maybe they would. So I don't know.
It's good discipline as well, isn't it?
It is good discipline. Matt says, I'd never charge anyone to come over for Christmas and would never pay, but I'd happily take a bottle or two of something nice and would take the hosts a gift as a thank you.
Oh, yeah.
That's
and that would be the right thing to do, wouldn't it? Always. Never go empty-handed. Kate says, absolutely not. Imagine inviting people to your home and then charging them. Never. Bob says, what sort of friend or family member would ever charge for Christmas dinner? It's not in the spirit of Christmas, I don't think.
It's not. And if you can't afford to put it on, don't put it on.
Put it on. Yeah.
And just do your immediate family like you would ordinarily do. I don't know. I just think it doesn't seem right to me. Maybe we're just too British about it and it's what other people do. I don't know.
It makes me uncomfortable. But then food is very expensive, I understand. Maybe as a family you just say, look, maybe we all kind of chip in together and help each other out. But that's a different thing to just charging people to coming to your home.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know what you think. gbnews.com/you'll-say.
Thinking of charging you, you coming over and staying over with the husband.
In the manor.
Which we've debated. I was thinking of charging you B&B.
Oh, but what would you be doing for breakfast?
I don't know. Well, I'd put something nice on.
It'd have to be a great spread.
Thinking 50 quid each, 50 quid a head.
Might as well stay in a hotel for that. It is like a hotel, though, his house.
Oh, it's not.
It's amazing.
Stop it. Now, there is a brand new way, if you want to take part in our conversation this morning, just become a friend of GB News for free. Have a look at this.
Join the community and be part of our shows by becoming a friend of GB News. Get a direct line to join the conversations that you hear us talking about every day in our programmes by commenting on Your Say and voting in You Decide polls. Access opinion, analysis and behind-the-scenes videos as we share more from the stories that you see on TV
and radio. Plus, watch our shows live and on catch-up anywhere, anytime. If you love our channel, become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code or going to gbnews.com/friend. Don't just watch our programmes, come and be a part of them.
Now, it is the biggest shopping day of the year, the Black Friday sales, so why not bag yourself a bargain?
Yes, online or in store, there are plenty of deals to help you with your Christmas shopping today. It is, in fact, the perfect day to start, I think.
I think it probably is, so that's why we've got our technology editor, Aaron Brown, with us this morning, delving through all the very best deals. Aaron, what have you got?
We're going to start with iPhone. It's a popular choice of handset.
Oh, my mum's looking for an iPhone today.
Perfect. OK, well, Apple has launched its annual Black Friday shopping event. They don't actually offer any discounts, though. They only
that's clever.
They only give you a gift card based on the item you're buying. It's up to £200 that you can get to spend on other things in the Apple Store. It's not too bad. You will need to buy basically a MacBook Pro to get the top £200. If you're looking for a phone, it tops out at around £40. So,
well, that doesn't buy you much, then, does it, in an Apple Store? I mean, it might get you a case or something.
That's kind of what you're looking at.
Or a cable or a lead or something. Socket.
So better than that, rather than the £40 gift card on an iPhone 16e from Apple, I'd recommend going to Amazon that have knocked £100 off the price. So it's up to $499 at the moment.
Well, that's a great deal, isn't it, that
And
one?
you could use the savings to buy a couple of cases if you wanted and still have some money in the bank.
Oh, that's a better way. But are we a bit sceptical normally about buying? Because we tend to think, don't we, if you're going to buy an Apple phone, you would buy it from Apple.
Yes.
Direct. That seems to be our mentality rather than buying it from a third party.
Yeah, and they do offer some perks like personalised engraving and things like that you can only get from them. But, you know, reputable online resellers like Amazon, AO, Currys, you know, you're going to get a good level of service with those. And if something goes wrong, you can always go to your nearest Apple store to get it serviced as well.
Oh, that's worth knowing. Yeah, because I wouldn't think about using Amazon to buy my tech necessarily, but that's a good idea. Good tip.
Samsung as well as...
Yes.
Samsung's website was here, and they were offering up to £250 off their Galaxy S25 series and Galaxy Fold and Flip 7, as Stephen, you mentioned earlier.
Well, actually, I mean, the Fold and Flip, they're not a bad deal because they're new. They've only just come out.
Exactly.
But the S25...
Yes.
It's going to be replaced.
Yeah, they usually refresh those phones around January, February time, so you won't have the latest... you won't have the latest kit for too long on that one. But a little bonus with Samsung, if you have an old phone to send in, they'll give you an extra £100 off on top of the 250, and it can be any phone. It can be broken, it can be an old Nokia 3310, anything you want.
Oh, that's good then.
Sticking with the Android, a lesser-known option maybe is the British brand Nothing. Which fewer people have heard of.
I haven't heard of that, no.
So they've won a number of design awards for their sort of transparent look. It runs Android the same as you'll find on a Samsung phone. Their phones are now starting from £274. They've also got some over-ear headphones, which are £100 off, and their AirPod-like earbuds are now under £60 as well. That's from their website, and Amazon, AO, Currys, all the usual players. John Lewis have price-matched those as well.
Really good prices on there.
It's interesting because Nothing have been making quite an impact. I mean, on a global stage, actually.
Yes, massively. Yeah, they're only 5 years old. They're based in the UK, which, you know, is few and
British
far between.
brands, very good.
Exactly, yeah. And, yeah, as you said, made a big splash.
Great.
Oh, good.
Should we just touch on the getaways?
Yes.
Because I don't think many people know about this, because you think about it, Black Friday, getting presents and getting Christmas shopping sorted. It's also a really good time to look at your holidays.
Exactly, yeah. EasyJet are doing flights from $14.99 at the moment on their deals. And then British Airways, some of their best deals are on long-haul flights. So if you're planning a trip a bit further afield, you can get some good deals on flights. Package holidays as well, I know we mentioned that earlier. They're offering up to £300 off, but that's if you spend 10 grand on a package holiday.
That is steep, though, isn't it? 10 grand.
That might be harder to hit than TUI, for example, which is offering £300 off as well, but the threshold there is only £3,500 to get the same £300 discount. So if you're looking for package holidays, maybe that's a better bet.
Maybe TUI is the one to go to today.
Yeah.
Still a lot of money to spend, isn't
It
it?
is,
Lovely,
isn't it?
Aaron, thank you. We'll see you a little bit later on. Right, shall we have a look at the weather?
I think we should. Here's a...
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain, some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures in the south still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast. Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now it's time for the Great British Giveaway now, and you have to get a wiggle on because it's actually the last day to grab your chance to win your Christmas on us. Listen to that magical Christmas music.
All right, so we head to Leeds Castle in Kent because Hayley Sparks is there. Morning, Hayley.
A very good morning to you. I'm here in Lady Bailey's library at Leeds Castle. Celebrities, politicians, the likes of Winston Churchill, Charlie Chaplin have all had their Christmases here, and now we're here. And I'm here to let you know that this is your last chance to enter our Great British Giveaway and win a Christmas prize package worth over £40,000. We're going to give you £30,000 to take you into 2026. We're going to give you £10,000 to buy all the Christmas presents and put them under the tree. We're going to give you £1,000 worth of shopping vouchers so you can buy the most fabulous Christmas lunch. And last but not least, you're also going to get the sold out GB News Christmas goodie bag. But what are you waiting for? Lines close at 4 p.m. today, and remember, this entire prize package will be with you before Christmas. Now I'm going to head over to Neverland Christmas here at Leeds Castle in association with Great Ormond Street, so I hope you'll come and see me later. What a lovely thing to do at Christmas. But in the meantime, here are all the details that you need. Lines close at 4 p.m. You've got to be in it to win it. Good luck, and I'll see you later in Netherland.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB 17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 8th of December. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Now, friends of GB News can vote in today's You Decide poll. You just need to scan the QR code on your screen right now, or go to gbnews.com if you're listening on the radio. We're asking which government is most responsible for the rise in asylum seeker hotels, Labour or the Conservatives?
Yep, let us know. Get involved. We'll try and share some results throughout the programme for you. Now, do stay with us. Still to come, should we introduce national service? It's happening in France, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not compulsory, which is interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to be debating that next.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines. The smell of gasoline.
Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos. What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dordme, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Welcome back. Now, France is planning to restore national military service. It's in the face of the growing threat posed by Russia and the risk of a new conflict breaking out in Europe.
Well, President Macron made the announcement yesterday, saying the only way to avoid danger is to prepare for it. Heck, that sounds sensible. With the plans to see young male and female volunteers go through a paid 10 months military training.
Now, of course, the UK hasn't had national service since 1963, but we're asking this morning, as pressure mounts from Russia and other countries, should Britain reconsider?
Let's talk to Army veteran Neil Presley and political commentator Sebastian Sellick. Good to see you both this morning. Sebastian, can we start with you? I mean, to plan for peace, prepare for war. That's what it's always been said. It's not a bad idea, is it?
No, the principle isn't a bad idea at all, and we definitely do need to be getting on a stronger footing when it comes to defence. I think Labour's got the message there. We've got the biggest increase in core defence funding since the Cold War. There's a target of getting back to 76,000 troops by the next election, and boosting out volunteers as well, cadets, by 30%. So definitely the priorities are right. But when it comes to how you do that, I don't think introducing a voluntary national service or even a compulsory one is the way to go. You've got to make sure it's a little bit more of a carrot approach than a stick approach when you come to recruiting your soldiers.
OK, so Neil, we've got Sebastian there saying that it needs to be more of a carrot than a stick approach. What do you think?
Well, to be quite honest,
I've been saying for a long time that we should bring back national service. We're actually losing a lot of people, and consecutive governments have just depleted the service that we've got. As France are doing it as a voluntary service, we're 100% voluntary anyway, so we need to bring back conscription to bring our numbers up if we are going to compete on the national stadium for security.
There's an argument, though, Neil, isn't there, against that, saying you've got to get the right sort of people in. You've got to get those people in and serving who want to serve and who are going to give their all.
Yes and no. I mean, at the end of the day, the army again was built on people given a choice between going to jail and joining the forces, and it sort of sorted them out for future life, you know. And wars are not won by nice people. You know, it's okay that the woke society, we need to have this diversity, that diversity, but when you're in combat, you've got to be able to obey orders, and sometimes you've got to be able to do nasty things.
And Neil, what do you think the benefits could be for young people taking part in national service?
Bit of discipline, pride in the nation, and a chance for the youngsters to actually gain experience in life, gain experience in working, and yeah.
I mean, Sebastian, there's a lot to be said for that, isn't there? And we know we have, you know, in a sense, a disaffected youth at the moment. Youth who feel like they don't have a lot of prospects, they haven't got enough money, they're wondering where their future is. If this gives them some stability, some sense of direction, some camaraderie, all these sort of things are positive, aren't they?
They are, and look, I think the armed forces can offer all of those things, but those routes already exist. You can sign up as a full-time member of the armed forces, you can become a reservist, or you can volunteer in your community, which is what a big part of these schemes often include. So there are ways to do all of those things, and I would really encourage young people to do them if they appeal. I came into politics through volunteering, so the slippery slope is there. No, you're right that young people are disaffected. I would be too if I were, 15, 20 years younger, because it's harder than ever to find a job, it's harder than ever to buy a house, and we've got to give people routes to be able to do that. I think if we're thinking about young people and making policy for them, that should be the real priority.
OK. Sebastian Selleck, Neil Pressley, really good to talk to both of you this morning. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Let us know what you think, gbnews.com/you'll say. In terms of national pride, it's not a bad idea, is it?
And I do think there are a lot of people... I mean, I don't know. Would I have liked it if I was that age? I don't know that I would necessarily, but I've spent a lot of time with the armed forces since, and it gives people a real sense of direction. It can be the making of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you think.
I don't know. I'm a bit tempted towards it, but yeah, your view is what matters. Still to come, Forest turn the clock back to their 1979 European Cup win. Find out more with Paul Coit in just a minute.
Thank you so much for helping us to reach 8 million followers and subscribers across our social media channels. That's 8 million fearless Brits standing up for what really matters.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Road users should exercise caution on the M90 Friarton Bridge and Britannia Bridge on the A55 due to high winds. In Norfolk, the A11 northbound is closed between junctions with the A1075 and the A47 due to a collision, expecting normal traffic by around 10. In South Gloucestershire, a collision near the A420 and M4 has closed the A46 northbound, expecting normal conditions by 10:30. And on the trains, disruptions with northern services as buses replace trains between Corkicle and Whitehaven, with poor weather affecting ScotRail routes. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience, because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
isn't it?
no,
Because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave. I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. It's sports time. Paul Coit is here with us. Morning.
Hello. Listen, I've something I'm very excited about that nobody seems to make a big deal about, which could have been yesterday, but it's only me that has seemed to be very excited about it. So shall I share it with you?
Yeah.
Our reporter, Jack Carson, we love Jack.
We do.
Was doing a report yesterday, and I saw him throw a dart. And, you know, he was doing like a little report, and then he got a dart, and he went like that, and then he went to walk away. Anyway, he said about throwing a bullseye, and you see him, he throws the dart. I don't think this is camera tricks either. I've been asking around. I said, did he really do that? He throws it, and he gets a little... You see his eyes go like that because he throws it in the bullseye. Have a look at this. Now, with the World Darts Championship coming up on December the 11th, I'm so impressed by this. So here's Jack Carson throwing a bullseye.
Finding out whether at that budget, did Rachel Reeves hit the bullseye? Oof. Or were people here wanting a bit more of a 180? Now, I am not the next Luke Littler, but I certainly am a GB News reporter. So let's speak to Matthew.
That was a bullseye.
It was straight in, wasn't it? And he just goes, oh, but then realises I'm a professional. You know, I'm a serious professional. I've got to keep moving. I think it surprised him, but then I'm thinking, was there cheating going on? Maybe, and I even looked at his hand. I thought maybe he's kept it in his hand. Someone's already put it in there. No.
It's a genuine reaction, you can tell.
But nobody has made a big deal. So, Jack, you are our hero.
You're our new Luke Littler. In fact, you'd give him a run for his money, I think.
I think it was magnificent.
Yeah.
Really
very good.
So
good
well done, Jack. I really like that, especially with Chopper going into the parliamentary darts competition in Westminster. Oh, is it? And he's relinquished his title.
Yeah.
Jack Carson should be playing for us next year.
Should.
He really
Absolutely.
should.
We could get a whole team here.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Everyone's got hidden talent.
Everybody on the arrows. Everybody on the arrows.
Yeah.
Right, Nottingham Forest beat Malmo.
Yeah.
Rerun of 1979.
1979.
No.
What a year.
I don't remember it, but I remember my parents telling me about Nottingham Forest beating Malmo in the final of the European Cup. So they won 3-0 at home, which is great for Forest because we know a bad run they had, and now things are on the turn under Sean Dyche. So
it's quite something, I think, that it is literally a change of manager has just transformed them completely.
But really, it's like under Nuno Espirito Santo, they played a certain way. Then Ange Postecoglou comes in, turns it a completely different way of playing. The players are like, what do we do? Loses all the game or doesn't win a game. And then Sean Dyche comes in and said, right, we're going to go back to how you were successful. It's not rocket science, but very good. But it's the way of doing it. But he's having success. Aston Villa beat Young Boys 2-1. Celtic beat Feyenoord of... Where are they from? Correct. The Netherlands. The Netherlands is the right answer. And
the Netherlands.
And so that was a good result for them. And Rangers, they drew 1-1 yesterday. That was in the Europa League as well. Crystal Palace lost to Strasbourg, missed 2 open goals. Aberdeen drew 1-1 with Noah.
Noah?
I've never heard of the football club Noah.
No, where are they from?
They are from, I believe it's Kazakhstan.
Oh.
They arrive on an ark. Players come out 2 by 2 on the, but it was 1-1. But oh no, they're not from Kazakhstan. They're from Armenia. I apologise.
Oh.
I apologise to Noah fans.
Right. Can we do
Fuzzy?
a bit? Oh, go on. Oh, I wasn't.
I should mention Fuzzy Zeller.
Yeah.
Fuzzy Zeller is one of those names that everybody knows as a golfer, but doesn't really know too much about. But sadly, Fuzzy Zeller passed away.
Oh.
So Fuzzy Zeller, at 74, two-time major winner. There's been a tribute from the president as well. Won the 1979 Masters and 1981 USPGA Championships. Fuzzy Zeller passed away. Do you know what Fuzzy's real name is?
No.
Fuzzenald. So Fuzzenald Zeller.
No, what is it?
It's Frank.
Right, right.
But I always wondered.
Frank. I feel like 74 is no age.
No
these
age.
days.
It's no age. He was a fantastic golfer.
We're out of time, Paul.
We've got no time for
the Olympic tours.
The Olympic tours.
We will do it next hour.
Promise, we will.
We must do.
Do you have any birthdays today?
Yeah, I haven't had time for those either.
Great, so
Very
I think we need
disappointing.
to do just Olympic torch and birthdays.
But then we've got Laura Kenny.
Oh, Laura Kenny.
even
Our
better, we've
greatest
got Laura
Olympian of all
Kenny.
time. Maybe she could play birthdays with us.
Maybe. Oh,
Maybe
that's
she
not a bad
could.
idea.
Not a bad
See what we
idea.
can squeeze in.
Friday fun.
But we have to move on because it is Friday and it is Black Friday. So let's get the very latest on the bargains out there with Aaron Brown.
Yes, thank you. Black Friday, a great time to get your Christmas shopping done, cut your monthly bills, but you do need to be careful. Research out this week says that 1 in 8 shoppers in the UK will be scammed over the Black Friday week, losing on average £500. Thankfully, I've got some Black Friday deals that can help with that. McAfee have got 50% off their antivirus package. That includes things like AI scam detection. It'll go through your emails and let you know if something dodgy that you need to delete immediately. ExpressVPN, they use military encryption to secure all of your internet browsing to the point that even your broadband provider can't see the sort of websites that you're going to, and you can't have your personal data stolen. They're offering 81% off. It's their biggest ever discount for Black Friday. And finally, 1Password is a password manager. It generates secure passwords for every login. 19 billion usernames and passwords have been stolen in the last year, and 2025 is looking like one of the worst years around. So you'll want an app that can generate a unique password for every website so hackers can't just reuse any of those stolen details and log in as you.
OK, Aaron, thank you very much.
Now, just a reminder that if you're a friend of GB News, which you can join for free on our website, you can vote in today's You Decide poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen. If you're listening on the radio, you go to gbnews.com. We're asking,
which government is most responsible for the rise in asylum seeker hotels? Is it the Labour government or was it the Conservatives? Do let us know. You can vote using that QR code or on the website, and we will share the results throughout the programme.
Right, we've got the papers heading away in just a moment with Claire Pearsall and Nigel Nelson.
But first, if you're in search of some holiday sun, and who can blame you because it's very cold outside, here is the forecast across Europe. Oh, we just...
The heavy rain across parts of Greece due to Storm Adele is now moving into Turkey. We could see some high rainfall totals building up. There's going to be some thunder mixed in, even some large hail as well. Further west and a few bits of rain across the southern parts of Italy, elsewhere mostly dry. Much of Spain actually largely dry, similar for southern France, but some wet weather pushing into northwestern parts of Spain and also Portugal, and that will feed further southeastwards through the weekend.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m. only on GB News.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
I think a lot of you at home are going to be quite annoyed with this. Now, Tesco, the big supermarket chain, appears to have got rid of the famous Christmas trees, instead renaming them evergreen
trees.
Evergreen
There's
trees.
the evergreen tree.
Here we are. So if you're listening on the radio, these are pictures of their boxes of artificial Christmas trees without the word Christmas on them at all, instead calling them evergreen trees. There are still a number of Christmas trees available called Christmas trees.
Christmas trees,
but I think it has clearly annoyed quite a lot of people. Why do you call them evergreen trees? Can't you just call them Christmas?
Just call them Christmas trees. I call them Christmas trees even outside of the time of Christmas. If they look like a Christmas tree, I call them a Christmas tree, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And the Conservative leader of the London Assembly, Susan Hall, she's told The Telegraph, it's Christmas. It's a Christmas tree. People don't tend to put up green plastic fir trees for any other reason. It's all stupid nonsense about offending other people and other religions. Well, below that, this is supposed to be a Christian country. We have Christmas. Let's celebrate it, says Susan Hall.
Actually, other religions are not offended by the celebration of Christmas in a Christian country. You speak to Hindus and Buddhists and the vast majority of Muslims, they're not in the slightest bit bothered and actually will join in those celebrations as well. It doesn't offend them. But what you've got are marketing divisions within these big companies where you've got Tarquin and Tabitha who feel that we must, you know, do what we can do to not offend the great British public. But the great British public are the ones that are actually buying the product and they're not in the slightest bit offended.
Can I just say it offends me that we've got Christmas already and it's not December.
GB News, the People's Channel.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Welcome back. We're going through the papers with Nigel Nelson and Claire Pearsall. Morning, you two. Claire, should we talk about President Trump, who is pausing green cards for some countries?
Yeah, this all came out on Donald Trump's Truth Social account yesterday regarding the shooting in which we lost one of the National Guard members who sadly died. And he's now looking to pause migration from all third world countries, not describing what countries he's talking about. So there's very little detail. I think the problem when you make announcements like this is it's going to be a knee-jerk reaction to a pretty hideous event that has happened, but not taking into account the practicalities of doing it. He's had previous bans on countries and their people before, which have always failed in the courts because he's just put in an arbitrary ban and the courts have taken against that. So I think that there are some difficulties in understanding quite what it is he's looking to enact, quite which countries he's going to cover as well.
To call it a permanent pause.
That's the worrying bit. I mean, Sarah Beckstrom's death is an absolute tragedy, and there's no question about that. And certainly there has to be some kind of response to make sure it doesn't happen again. But this one, as Claire's just said, does feel a bit knee-jerk, and difficult to know quite what it achieves. I mean, one of the things he's talking about is taking away federal benefits from non-citizens. Well, does that leave them destitute? What do you do with them? I mean, it is a very vague kind of plan, but it feels like it's something he always wanted to do at some stage.
But he's also going to look at the green cards that have been issued previously to what he considers to be people of countries of concern, but he hasn't listed what they are. And you can see that this is all likely to fall apart. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to ensure that terrible acts like that don't happen again, as Nigel says, but to have a sort of trying to have a blanket ban on practically every country that you just don't like isn't going to work practically.
No, maybe not very workable. The Sun, Nigel, is interesting this morning as it's highlighting jobless Brits who say the end of the two-child benefit cap is a dream come true, and they want to have more and more children.
Yes, it feels like the sun's gone out to look specially for these particular people.
They're out there.
Well, I mean, some of them are. I think you're absolutely right. But 70% of people who will claim are actually in work. So they're not sort of doing it just to get extra benefits, but they're low-income people, so...
You can't afford to... I mean, I don't want to sound controversial, but if you can't afford the children, why should we pay for you to have them?
Well, I mean, that's certainly the Conservative argument, that they say that the taxpayer shouldn't be paying for other people's children. And it is an argument, that, well, in fact, that Claire would actually make. But the 450,000 children who are in poverty, it's not their fault.
No.
They're in a low-income family, which I think is why it's the right thing to do to get rid of that ban. It was a cruel ban brought in by George Osborne in 2017. Shouldn't have happened, and I think that lifting it was absolutely right, and it's long overdue.
Claire? Well, of course it's not right. People make choices in life, and if you are going to have children, you need to look at what it is you can afford. Now, there will always be some families who have a number of children who then fall on hard times, which is what the welfare state is there to do. But to suggest that taxpayers who are now going to be paying even more thanks to the budget of this week are here to subsidise the choices of families who can't afford to have multiple children, how does this make for a good society? And also...
But it's economic, isn't it an economic benefit on the basis... Well, it is, because you've got that health outcomes and educational outcomes for these children, if they're not in poverty, will be so much better. So that means they'll be earning higher wages when they become adults. They'll contribute more to the economy. We won't have the health costs thrown in. So in the long term, we should actually save money from this, apart from it just simply being the right thing.
And how much is this costing the taxpayers? This
$3 billion.
So, yeah, exactly. So $3 billion. These are the kind of policies that you can have and you can go back on when you have a budget surplus. In this country, the last time I looked, we don't have a budget surplus, and we are in fact borrowing even more.
But then this would never have happened.
And absolutely, if we can't afford it as a country, you have to draw the line somewhere. And everybody's subsidising children of people that have had them with little forethought as to how they're going to afford to raise them and feed them and clothe them, like we all have to.
But we can afford it if you do things like raise gambling taxes as well.
Oh, well, here we go, just piecing around the edges.
That's one of the taxes that will actually go towards this particular policy.
This is other people's money that you're quite happy to spend. So this is a chance that
gambling is a luxury. Children in poverty is something that shouldn't happen.
It's not the children's fault. You're dead right. It's the parents.
Yes, parents. Doesn't it just give a green card? As I mean, there's some of these examples in the Sun say. Just a green card for people, just to be even more irresponsible and say, well, we'll have more children. We can have more children, even though they have no money.
Juliet says, this is a dream come true for me. Chelsea says, this is a Christmas windfall. And Emily says she's making £1,590 every month through benefits. She says, blame the system, not me.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are some people like that quite clearly, but the majority of people who will be affected by this are not in that category.
Claire, should we change the subject? And should we look at electric car drivers? This is causing a lot of confusion for people, isn't it?
Yes.
And the charges that will apply.
Yeah, now, when this was briefed out originally, I think everybody went, well, how's this going to work? So people who own an EV car will be forced to pay per mile to drive.
Yeah.
So all of this encouragement to get into an electric vehicle because it was actually going to be better for the environment and cost you less is now turning out to be absolute nonsense. The government has realised that it's losing so much revenue by people changing to an EV that it needs to tax them even more.
I mean, London's is bringing in congestion charge for electric vehicles.
Exactly.
It still costs you less, though. I mean, if you're taking...
I was looking this up. It was going to cost me, because I've got to get a new car in August. Thinking of electric, it's going to cost me £900 in mileage a year.
But you do a lot of miles over a year, don't you? I mean, the average person, it would cost about £250 compared to £600 if you have a petrol or diesel car. So there is a benefit there.
Road tax, which you don't pay on an EV.
Yes.
That'll be the next thing.
And also, the other problem you've got is that this had to come in at some point.
Why?
Well, because next year there'll be 6 million EV drivers. That will keep going up. As a result of that, revenue from fuel duties will fall, and suddenly there's a £12 billion black hole that needs to be filled.
This was to encourage people. It was good for the environment to drive an electric vehicle.
But it still is. It doesn't change the environmental argument.
Because what your argument is that the government has realised how much money it's not going to get.
But they've known for some time. This was going to come in eventually anyway. It was a question of when it was going to come in. There was always going to be a situation where electric cars would have to be taxed.
You can imagine they're just going to go after electric bikes, electric scooters, anybody in a mobility scooter, because this is the Labour way, isn't it? If it stands still long enough or it moves slow enough, you're going to tax it.
Well,
this is what you.
This was a tax that is essential to balance the books. As I say, the only question was when it came in.
It's not about doing the right thing.
It is about the environment. You're still. I mean, there's also subsidies for getting an electric car.
Is there?
It's all about cash.
Honestly, it feels like a complete rip-off. All right, you two, thank you very much indeed.
Let's go check now on the
I'd
weather
love to try
with Alex Burkle.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain, some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures in the south still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then, as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast. Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for making us the fastest growing news website in the UK. We're truly humbled, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Motorists crossing the M90 Friarton Bridge should exercise caution due to high winds affecting driving conditions. Meanwhile, on the A55 Britannia Bridge, high winds persist until further notice. Drivers on the A11 northbound in Norfolk will face a complete closure due to a collision between the junctions of the A1075 and the A47. The A46 northbound in South Gloucestershire is also facing closure due to an incident involving multiple vehicles between the A420 and the M4. And on the trains, Northern buses are replacing trains between Corkickle and Whitehaven, and ScotRail services are affected by poor weather across various routes. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the final week to see how you can enjoy Christmas on us. First, we'll give you an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash. Then we'll give you a further £10,000 cash to spend on all your Christmas presents, even the tree. Christmas lunch, that's on us too, with £1,000 in shopping vouchers to spend at your favourite supermarket. Finally, a GB News Christmas goodie bag. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, though. I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
A really important thing about GB News, and it's brought something completely different to the landscape.
The mainstream is all about keeping the status quo as it is, ticking along quite nicely. They don't want to ask difficult questions.
GB News exists because there is a desperate need for fearless journalism that puts the people first.
GB News came on the scene as a disruptor, and it has always been a disruptor ever since.
Journalism in this country has been a cosy world full of groupthink until now.
Well, the reality is that most British journalists are afraid. That's not GB News.
Journalism is journalism at the end of the day, and we're not here to serve any masters. Our masters are our audience.
We're here to talk about things in a way that have never been broadcast on British airways before.
Do not miss a moment on GB News.
The #1 news channel in the country.
Well,
good morning. The budget will lead to dismal living
got a really nice
standards.
sound. I was in there
Experts warn
listening.
the Chancellor of the impact on workers who will be left
whoever was
thousands
holding
of
these
pounds
before,
worse off by stealth taxes.
People's earnings after tax are expected
And
to rise
they
by
will
just
be on as well. So
0.5%
maybe don't
over
have
the
them up
next
to your mouth,
5
but
years.
have them almost as
A
like
budget that
ambient.
promises change but
Sounded
delivers
great.
heavy price hikes for millions. Can this government turn around the British economy?
Sir Keir Starmer scraps a flagship pledge in the Workers' Rights Bill, championed by Angela Rayner.
And of course, it is Black Friday today. Our technology editor, Aaron Brown, is across all of the best deals.
Yes, I'll be here all morning taking you through the deals and discounts that you can't afford to miss.
School staffing shortages are harming children's education and safety, according to a new report, with unions warning there aren't enough workers to meet pupils' needs or keep them safe.
President Donald Trump has said that he'll permanently pause migration from all third world countries. It's after 2 National Guard members were shot in Washington, D.C.
And sport this morning, Nottingham Forest wind back the clock to 1979 as they beat Malmo in the Europa League. Aston Villa managed to win 2-1 as they play young boys. And in F1, McLaren won't prioritise Lando Norris over Oscar Piastri as he aims to win his first World Championship.
Good morning. The strongest winds today are across northern and western parts of Scotland, but tomorrow we're going to see some very wet and windy weather spilling its way across the central southern parts of England and Wales. Stick around for more details.
It's just gone 8 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
There's lightning on Mars, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Is there?
Yes, there is. Scientists have detected lightning in mini whirlwinds on Mars. And it's been picked up by NASA's Perseverance rover, which is... It's been wandering around the red planet for years.
Yeah, do you know what? I just started watching a documentary on that the other day. It was fascinating.
Still no life then?
No.
No, still nothing?
Bowie would be disappointed.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, very good.
Yeah.
But honestly, isn't it absolutely amazing that there's all this going on? And the fact we've got these... Sometimes I look at... If you look at NASA and the website and you get these pictures and you just think that's a shot of Mars. It just looks like it could be in the Nevada desert or somewhere.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't
I know
it?
people get messages now saying it's the Nevada desert. It isn't. But it's just incredible that you see all these incredibly detailed pictures and all these rock formations of this planet, which, as far as we know, has never had any life on it or never seen any life and never been walked on by us yet.
There's not a lot of variation, though, is there, Stephen?
No, there isn't.
It's
no.
a lot of red rocks, isn't it?
It's a lot of red rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, and volcanoes, ancient volcanoes. They're obviously not active
They're the big
anymore,
red
but
rocks.
big craters
But don't you
and
find it
things.
fascinating?
I do, when you see how clear it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
And it puts everything into perspective. I feel like our
very
problems
good,
feel a lot smaller when you look out at space.
Yeah.
Do you
Don't you think?
Well, yeah, it's a bit like, you know, 3i Atlas, which is this thing, and don't read all the rubbish online saying it's an alien spacecraft that's going through the solar system. I mean, that's complete nonsense. I hate to tell you, I wish it was an alien spacecraft. But the idea that which has come from interstellar space...
Oh, you are throwing me now.
He's really into space.
No,
This is
but
what
Sit with
happens.
Patrick Moore. Go on.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
But that, now, they think this piece of rock, and they don't know whatever it is,
Yeah.
they don't know exactly where it's come from, and they don't know quite what it's made of or anything else. But they believe, because of its trajectory,
Yes.
that it's been travelling on its own through space since before the solar system even formed.
Wow.
Did you ever go to the planetarium? The London Planetarium. This is Madame Tussauds.
No.
What they used to do, you go there as a kid, and they would scare the life out of you because they pretty much tell you that a rock is going to hit the Earth, and all the school kids would be sitting there watching it, and they're going, and then it will come down, and then it can obliterate everything, and everybody's completely terrified. I think they closed it probably because of that.
Is that not the most likely way that this would all end, though?
Oh, well,
The
yeah.
Earth would end.
Not in the
An
near future, though, Ellie,
asteroid
right?
comes down and wipes us out,
I could do.
like it did the dinosaurs.
No, you're as bad as those planetarium people.
That's what it said in the documentary I was watching.
All right. Well, I mean,
I'm going to turn into you.
Oh, you could. I don't know. I just
fascinating.
find it all absolutely fascinating.
You're so Patrick Moore, you're going to play the xylophone next, aren't you, for us?
I could do. I interviewed Patrick Moore once. What a lovely man. Lovely man. Anyway, enough of that. Should we get back to things down here on Earth and down here in this country?
Yes,
Which is all pretty serious stuff, though very small in cosmic terms. Let's talk to the Shadow Secretary for Business, Andrew Griffith, who joins us now. Good to see you this morning. I mean, are you relieved? Are you breathing a sigh of relief that Sir Keir Starmer has done a complete and utter U-turn when it comes to at least one element of the workers' rights bill?
It's a good outcome for young people who want their chance, their shot at life, their chance of a job, and businesses who will be better equipped to take them on without the fear that they're going to be able to run straight to an employment tribunal on their very first day in work. So, yes, this is a good outcome for business. We, the Conservative Party, have worked collaboratively with business to force this U-turn on the government. But exactly as you say, this is a 329-page bill now. They've taken out one page. There's 329 pages of similarly damaging things left. And look, if you've taken the blowtorch off the arsonist, but they've still got a whole bunch of matches and lighter fuel, you're not that much further down the road.
What do you make of economists and experts in many of the papers this morning saying that the budget that we saw this week is going to lead to lacklustre growth and truly dismal living standards? They say that workers are going to be thousands of pounds worse off by these stealth taxes.
Well, that's exactly what we're seeing. This morning, I'm releasing analysis on business rates that's going to absolutely clobber pubs and restaurants and some small businesses up and down the country. You barely heard a word of that from the budget. It was frankly dishonest in terms of what's going on there. That's going to harm jobs. It's going to harm our high streets and economic growth. And that's what you get, to be honest. You go and tax people more, you undermine incentives to build a business. Someone builds a business and then you tax them when they try and pass it on to their children with the family business death tax. No wonder we've got an anemic economy where we found out yesterday that 250,000 people are leaving, 100,000 of them, some of our youngest, bestest and brightest. You've got to invert all of this. If a government was serious about growth, it wouldn't be pursuing the Employment Rights Bill, the bill for unemployment, and it would not have absolutely done the budget that we heard about on Wednesday, which is on the side of welfare, on the side of the public sector, very cosseted, but not on the side of people who get up and work hard in the morning or small businesses.
Does all this leave you on the back foot, though, Andrew, in the sense that an awful lot of what we heard in the budget, I mean, frankly, the stuff that is really going to sting is not being brought in for several years, right? So you can't, and probably about the time we start talking about the next general election. So it's bad news for Labour that way if it all goes ahead. But you will not be able to turn round as an opposition party and say, we're going to scrap all of this, because you'd be left with an enormous black hole if you did that.
Well, look, a couple of things. First of all, I think the next election, there will be a very clear divide about the economy, about whose side people are on. We'll be putting forward plans to properly cut red tape and set out the detail of that, not another trust me, but an actual show me. We'll have a series of tax choices, such as the promise we've already made and funded to cut stamp duty for everybody's first home. That's huge in terms of its benefit to the economy. And yes, there will be tough choices on public spending. I was a finance director for 12 years. You don't become wildly popular by being the finance director telling people that they can't just spend money. But people respect that if you're clear about why you need to do that. We can't carry on. An increasing number of people, I think, recognise this, which is sadly why some people are leaving. We can't carry on as we are. We need a different sort of government that's willing to make hard choices. And yes, the government, the budget that Rachel Reeves showed yesterday has backloaded a whole bunch of tax rises, but only to fuel her spending plans. The Labour Party's inability to reform welfare, because it's their backbenchers that are calling the shots now, not our Prime Minister, and their difficulty with actually trying to grow an economy, because their values don't support growing an economy, as with the unemployment bill, which remains in all forms other than this one very important and valuable concession they've made.
Can I bring you back to those net migration figures and that near record exodus of under 35s leaving Britain due to the increasing costs here? We are in danger here, aren't we, of losing our highly skilled people, the best and brightest people in Britain. How do we ensure that young people want to stay in this country and have their families here and set up their businesses here and work here in Britain?
Well, we need a government that talks more about opportunity, that projects a positive vision. I want to see a new generation of entrepreneurs. This is a fantastic country. Lots of people want to come here, clearly, not always the right ones. But we want to make it easier to start, grow, set up a business, run a business, have a life. We want to get London and our big urban areas building again. They're barely building. It's terrible. And we need to reform the red tape that makes everything so blooming slow. In the second quarter of this year, the last quarter, I've got figures available, there were 901 applications for judicial review. Now, that's quite a technical term, but what it means is every time in this country someone tries to do something, build something, change something, they run off to a bloated legal system. You know, it's killing us. And so the next Conservative government will reform some of these big challenges and make this a much better place to be. Our mayors need to get to grips with street crime. They seem to find no problem at all stopping farmers from having a peaceful protest in Whitehall on the day of the budget, but they can't stop people having their mobile phones snatched at hundreds of thousands of levels. So there's just a great deal that we need to do as a country, but it can all be done. There's other countries out there that get these things right. We need to learn from them.
Well, talking about other countries, and just before we let you go, you'll be aware that President Macron is bringing in a voluntary national service in France as a direct response to the threats that we're facing from Putin and Russia. Do we need to look at something along those lines in this country?
Look, potentially. I mean, the key word to me would be voluntary. I don't want to see the state telling people what they must and must not do, indeed, what they can and can't drink, or where they can and can't drive. So on a voluntary basis, by all means, let's have a look at it. I don't spend my life taking lots of lessons in life from France. We are Great Britain. This is a wonderful country. When we get our mojo, when we get our act together, there's no country on earth that can beat us. Now, sadly, we haven't done that for too long, but there is no reason, and the Conservative Party under new management can be a massive part of that.
OK. Andrew Griffith, good to see you, as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now to the other side of the pond, where President Trump has said he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries after 2 National Guard members were shot in Washington, D.C. One of who's since died, of course.
Well, in a post online late on Thanksgiving, the US president said he'll end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens.
Our political correspondent is Catherine Forster, and she's here. What do we make of this? I mean, it's a very wide-ranging, vague sort of comment at this stage.
Well, it is, but Donald Trump, as we know, has a taste for putting pretty striking comments out on social media. And, I mean, let's see, not only the things that you've mentioned, permanently pausing a migration from third world countries, though no detail of what that would mean, and ending all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens, but also says remove anyone who is not a net asset. Anyone who is not a net asset. Now, it's not clear how this would be possible, what exactly he's thinking of. And we know that previously, when he's tried to introduce travel bans from certain countries in his first term of office, he ran into all sorts of challenges from the courts and Congress. But clearly, this is a very direct reaction to those horrific shootings very, very close to the White House the other day of the 2 members of the National Guard. The very sad death announced yesterday of Sarah Beckstrom, and also the remaining man is still in hospital with critical injuries. And the reason Donald Trump's making this announcement now is because the suspect for that shooting is an Afghan national who we are told had driven from the other side of the country to carry out this shooting. He entered the US in September 2021 after, you remember, the terrible, the chaotic way that the US withdrew from Afghanistan. And he apparently, according to the CIA, had worked with a military unit backed by the CIA, supporting the US efforts in Afghanistan. So you can see why they felt they had a duty to take him. He was given asylum finally in April this year under Trump. But given that he's now, well, the trial hasn't gone to trial yet, but alleged to have shot these National Guards, clearly, there's going to be a reaction. But I think Trump saying that he's going to do these things and actually being able to do these things, 2 different matters.
OK, Catherine, thanks. For now, we'll speak to you later on.
Thank you. Now, at 15 minutes past 8, let's get a check on the weather with Alex Burkill.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain, some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures in the south still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then, as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast. Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
So it's Black Friday. Did do a little bit of shopping in the break.
Did you? Oh, I saw you actually being a bit naughty.
I did do a little bit of shopping.
You were buying diffusers and fragrances.
Yeah.
Hopefully for me. Was it for me?
It could be a gift.
Oh. I said I want my house to smell like a hotel.
Well, yeah, it will do that for you. Anyway, I don't think diffusers are on our list this morning, but our technology editor, Aaron Brown, is across everything that really matters.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
Aaron, I'm excited for this one.
Oh, are you? What's this one?
Ellie's had a sneak preview of what's coming up. We're sticking in the house.
All
so
right.
We're going to start with Dyson.
Yes.
They're offering up to £170 off their cordless vacuums. If you want that maximum discount, you're going to have to go for the V15 Detect Extra, which was until 2 months ago, the flagship model. So that's down from 650 down to 779. 479, sorry. Yeah, still quite a lot of money for a cordless vacuum.
A lot of money.
They do throw in a decorative stand that you can place it on
how
charging,
nice.
which
lovely.
costs £120 if you were to buy that separately. So
so that
not to be
is
sniffed
quite
at.
a good deal then,
Yes.
if you're throwing that in as well.
I'm not impressed by a decorative stand, but it is probably quite practical. So.
It is, yeah. If that's a little bit too rich for your blood, Shark cordless vacuums are a good way to go. The Stratos model here, which uses AI to detect how much suction power is needed, depending on what surface you're on, so it'll conserve battery life. That's £199 on Currys, but Amazon is beating it with £161. So don't go for the Currys deal. I think it says it's their lowest price. Head to Amazon.
Amazon's got so many good deals today.
They're doing well this year.
Yeah,
yes.
I wouldn't think to look at household items on
Yeah, a top tip with
Amazon.
anything on Amazon, if you go to the website Camel and put in the URL...
Camel,
yeah. And put in the URL from Amazon, it'll show you a complete price graph over time, so you can quickly work out if it's the lowest price or if it went down to that price a few months ago.
Oh, you're full of tips, aren't you?
Oh, that's quite interesting, because you do wonder if anything's a real deal.
Yes, yeah, there has been some research that shows that quite a few of the deals you see on Black Friday have been the similar price within 6 months before and 6 months after, for Boxing Day sales, for example.
Yeah.
But it's a good time to buy because of the pre-Christmas timing, I think.
Right.
Now, I might be in the market today for an air wrap.
Well...
What?
It's like I don't even know how you describe it, a hair tool.
Yeah, multi-styler.
Multi-styler, very good, Aaron.
Yeah. Yes, well, the new model, the Airwrap ID, is currently at the lowest price on John Lewis.
So it's what we'd call... it's what your mother would call a hot brush.
A hot brush.
Yeah.
It's slightly more though, because look, there's a drying element here, and you can do other things.
Oh, okay.
Not that I've worked out what the rest of that does.
Do you use one of these, Aaron?
I didn't this morning.
No.
But that's only because I haven't bought the deal yet.
Right.
But yes, their new model that launched earlier this year.
So expensive though, it's still £400.
It's pretty pricey, yeah. If you're not looking at using the other attachments for your styling, you just want to dry your hair, the Dyson Supersonic, the hairdryer, has dropped to £189 on Boots. And just a few years ago, that sort of price, you'd have to be looking at a refurbished model from Dyson's own shop, which is on eBay.
They're the fancy ones that they always have when you go to fancy hairdressers.
Yes.
Yeah, fancy hairdryer, but they were £300. That's part of 300 quid, so it's come down quite a lot.
Quite a drop, yeah. And there's a code on Boots' website at the moment which gets you free next-day delivery, so you could be drying your hair with it this time tomorrow.
That's handy, and you get Boots points as well, don't you?
Yes, that's another great tip. Wrapping up, Ninja, selling air fryer brand in the UK.
Let's get into kitchen bits,
They've got a load of deals across their items. Obviously, with an air fryer, there's an initial outlay, but then because it uses 60% less energy than a traditional oven, there will be savings throughout the year as you cook your meals as well.
I swear by an air fryer. Does a fantastic job if you get chips, you know, like from your takeaways.
Yeah.
Throw them in the air fryer, it brings them back to life. Stunning.
Definitely. And this model in particular is a new one. Yeah, it's to save on kitchen counter space. They've stacked the two drawers on top of each other.
And knocked 90 quid off.
Yep. And
that's not bad at all, is it?
There's exclusive accessories like the tongs and things like that you get from Ninja. If you're just looking to save the most, though, again, our old friend Amazon has dropped Ninja Max Pro down to £89, whereas you'll only find it for $99 on Ninja's own website.
Great. Oh, I want a frozen drink maker. I like the look of that.
Do you drink a lot of frozen drinks?
No, I don't, but I'd like to now.
No, we'll buy one anyway.
Yeah.
All right, lovely stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Should we head over to Bristol, where our national reporter, Jack Carson, is at an Amazon distribution centre. Morning, Jack.
Yeah, good morning to you. Welcome here to the Bristol Fulfilment Centre for Amazon. So I feel like a big kid, really. If you want to know where all your Black Friday deals are coming from that you're buying today, this is one of the places, and we're seeing how it all works. I'm delighted to be joined by Richard Griffith, who is the General Manager here. I mean, there is just so much to talk about here. We've got these robots all in the background, and let's start with them. You know, what are these doing? How does this all work?
Yeah, good morning. It's great to have you here at the Fulfilment Centre. So behind us, you see our robotic storage solution, and the yellow shelving we call pods here at Amazon, and that's where all of our inventory is stored for our customers. And what you'll see is it's stored completely at random across our floor, as this works best for the work that we're doing and getting those items ready for our customers on Black Friday.
And as much of kind of the robots are doing such a good job as well, if we just spin around, there's also so much kind of still that human side to it as well, and you know, that kind of packing from these shelves. So these pods bring all the items to these people, and then what happens then?
Yeah, you know, the work that we're doing and growth in technology is really working to harmonise the work that our colleagues are doing behind us in storing the volume, alongside making things easier for those on a day-to-day. So behind me, our colleagues are currently storing away some of the units ready for Black Friday. Many of these will be deals and Christmas gifts heading out in our miles of conveyor over the course of today and onto the Bloom Prime trailers heading to our customers across the country.
Because we know today that about 4 in every 5 pounds is basically spent online. So gone are those big rushes at the shops that we've seen in previous years. A lot of it is spent online. So just how busy, you know, are you on a day like today?
Look, so far this week, tens of millions of units have departed our sites across the country, and today's no different. We're expecting millions of units to be shipped from our buildings, hundreds of thousands from this very building. It really is a great day.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be joined by him again a little bit later on, or here at Amazon in Bristol, finding out how all of those Black Friday deals get to you.
Fantastic stuff, Jack. Jack, we need to talk, though, because you are incredible at darts. What was that about yesterday in the bullseye?
That was a bit of TV magic, wasn't it? Yeah, that was trade secrets, shall we say. I had a few practices.
Was it you or was it telemagic?
Telemagic.
Oh,
and me. Telemagic
Jack,
and me.
I'm so disappointed.
We were so excited.
Oh, he's lost for words now.
You saw at the end how good you saw at the end how good I actually am at darts. Why I threw a 13 and didn't get anywhere near the bullseye.
Oh, I see.
I see. We thought you were going to give Luke Littler a run for his money, Jack.
Oh, so disappointed in you, Jack. But have a great time at Amazon, because it looks fantastic,
That looked fun,
actually.
didn't it?
I'd love to see that in action, actually.
Yeah, Amazon's going to be busy today, isn't it?
Right, Christmas giveaway, running out of time. It closes today. Let's get the latest from Hayley, who's at Leeds Castle.
Good morning. I am here exploring Neverland Christmas at Leeds Castle in association with Great Ormond Street. I am currently in the Lost Boys hideout, which is just amazing. There's so much detail. What a lovely experience to have for you and your family at Christmas time. But I'm here to tell you that time is running out to win the Great British Giveaway. Our Christmas prize package is worth over £40,000. We're going to give you £30,000 to spend in 2026, £10,000 £1,000 to buy all of your Christmas presents. We're going to throw in a £1,000 shopping voucher to buy your entire Christmas lunch. And if that wasn't enough, we're also going to give you the GB News goodie bag, which unfortunately doesn't contain any of these items, but I've been told you will get the GB News Christmas baubles. So what more could you want? That's your entire Christmas sorted. And if you win, this entire package will be with you in time for Christmas. But lines close today at 4 p.m, so this really is your last chance to enter. Here are all the details that you need, and I wish you the very best of luck.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 8th of December. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Now, still to come, we've got a Friday treat for you. You've got the a cappella group, Dad Harmony.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show. It's not a bad brand. Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Britain's Newsroom. Weekday mornings from 9:30.
Flossie, how do you think your peers would react if, from now on, they were never, ever allowed to bring their phone into school?
Well, I think the big thing is really, I mean, I went to school yesterday after obviously doing BBC News. And surprisingly to me, all of my friends were saying, look, we completely agree with you. You're so totally doing the right thing. Obviously, it is a very sensitive topic. You know, obviously, I'm going to have people saying, stop what you're doing.
Don't take my phone away from me.
I would hate myself if I was in primary, secondary school. But realistically, the thing is, now I'm coming to realise I really wish I just didn't have a phone.
Yeah.
I am addicted to my phone now, I would admit that. I really wish I wasn't. So hopefully as well, if phones are banned in secondary schools, parents usually buy them for secondary school because everyone gets them. So hopefully that will stagger, you know, when parents buy their kids' phones, which may break, you know, the level of addiction.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I didn't have a phone, really wish I didn't, because, you know, I keep on saying to myself, where would I be now if I didn't have a phone?
You said that people are now talking to each other on the bus because your school has moved to a stricter ban.
So my school is now completely smartphone free on anywhere where the school has a duty of care. So, yeah, it was really surprising to see kids, you know, talking and chatting while
Because normally they would text each other or they'd be on the...
staring at their phones.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, I do hope you're very successful because it's such an important campaign. Will, Ewing and Flossie, thank you so much.
Why can't they just take a stand? They've done it in Australia.
It might help with the
They've done it in Australia.
GB News, the People's Channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
So it is feeling sort of Christmassy now, isn't it?
I was just about to say it's feeling Christmassy, and you put up your tree yesterday, so you're in the spirit.
Yes, the tree went up yesterday, which is very nice.
Looks beautiful, like a winter wonderland.
Yeah. So, so the countdown to Christmas really is underway.
Yeah, and we've got a treat for you today, a festive treat, if you like, because we're joined in the studio by Dad Harmony. They're a Swedish vocal group. They've been with us on Breakfast before, so you'll know just how fantastic they are. They have released a new Christmas single, and they are actually performing live in the UK tonight for the very first time here in London. So this is Dad Harmony.
I heard there was a secret chord the day we played, and he pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor falls, and the major lift. The powerful king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Lovely, gents. Lovely. Come over here and join us.
Gives me goosebumps. I love a cappella music.
It's really nice, isn't
so
it?
So special about it, isn't it? Just all of the voices coming together.
Yeah, really,
amazing.
really nice. Gents, it's really good to see you again.
Lovely to be here again.
I can't believe, because obviously we talked about a year ago, must have been something like that. I hadn't realised even at that point that you've never performed live in the UK before.
Yeah, correct. Last time it was only TV and other things, so really excited to be here with a concert.
With a concert, is it a bit nerve-wracking?
It is, of course, but we've done this a couple of times in other places, so hopefully we can keep our nerves in check for tonight.
Oh, it'll be absolutely fantastic. And for those who haven't seen you on the channel before, you've got the most incredible story about how you got started, didn't you? Because it was basically an accident, and then you guys all went viral.
Yeah, actually it was Peter's bachelor party, and I recorded it with my phone, and like almost by an accident I put it out on TikTok. And
just you all singing together?
Exactly, and they have no shirts. I was behind the camera and sang, and they had no shirts, and I put it out on TikTok, and they say that I didn't ask them before. So 22 millions, I think, saw there without anything. Yeah, so...
And now you've got so many followers on Instagram. How many? I think last time I checked, something like 2 million followers.
Yeah, I think it's like,
something like that.
Yeah, incredible. And
no, go on, darling.
And the show tonight, Cadogan Hall as well. I just checked there are still tickets available, aren't there?
One or two.
A few tickets left.
Yeah, so people can still grab a ticket if they fancy that tonight.
Yeah.
What's happening with the day jobs? Because last time we chatted, I think you still had your day jobs. Are you still doing that, or is this now becoming a full-time thing?
We're still doing that. So we work Monday till Thursday, and then we have a Dad Harmony on Fridays. Wow. So, and a bit of touring as well.
Is that not strange? I mean, what do your colleagues make of it all?
I think they think it's fun. kind of crazy, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you're very busy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with tonight. It's going to be a fantastic show. If you do want tickets, they are still available. Well, some are still available. Is that on your website, on your Instagram? I'm sure you're going to put a link up.
It's on our website, yeah.
I just need to hear your real speaking voice. Get with the mic, because you're bass.
Yes, I am.
Aren't you? And the bass on that was just phenomenal. It really was.
Thank you very much.
Is it difficult to maintain the right note when you're singing that low?
Well, it takes a lot of concentration, absolutely. But I don't know. It's my natural voice, so it's.
You do have very low pitch.
How low can you go?
Sometimes lower than other days.
Go on, give us a really low one.
Oh, wow, that is so low.
It's all because it's coming through my ear as well. I think my ear's going to start bleeding with the vibrations. It's really good to see you, James. Thank you very much indeed. Good luck tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Tonight. And thank you for coming in and seeing us again.
Lovely. Oh, we should say tack.
Oh, yeah, very good.
It's the only Swedish word I know. Well, there you go, so I've got to wheel it out. Now, if you are travelling to work or school this morning, you're a bit late, get a diddle on. Here's your traffic and travel update.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Road users should exercise caution on the M90 Friarton Bridge due to high winds. Traffic is slow southbound on the A470 from Taffs Well to Corryton Interchange. A collision has closed all lanes on the A11 northbound between the A1075 and the A47 in Norfolk. In South Gloucestershire, all lanes are closed on the A46 northbound between the A420 and the M4 due to an accident. In Surrey, the M25 anti-clockwise between junctions 10 and 9 has a lane closed for a tyre change. And on the trains, Northern buses replace services between Corkickle and Whitehaven, and ScotRail reports disruptions between Glasgow Central and East Kilbride. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk
No,
now?
that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Bold. They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Paul Coyte's got the sport. Good morning.
Good morning. The Olympic torch is moving. Let's have a little look. It's moving through Greece as we head towards Italy for Cortina and Milan at the start of February. It has moved from the west of Athens. I know I like to try and keep you up. And then across the Rio Antirio Bridge and to the lakes and the hills of Agrinio.
Excellent.
And then it heads to Italy on the December the 4th.
I'm very excited.
Talking of Olympics, I'm very excited about this because our most successful female Olympian of all time, Dame Laura Kenny, who also happens to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan, which also makes me extremely happy as well. 5 Olympic gold medals is with us. Hello, Laura.
Hello, how are you?
I'm really good. Lovely to see you. Listen, did you do of course, with all the medals and you and Jason and everything, did you ever do the actual carrying the torch?
I have never carried an Olympic torch. Nope.
That's the only Olympic thing probably you've never done, and I managed to pick up on it. What was your favourite Olympic? Because there was 3. We've got 2 medals in each. Do you have a favourite? It must be London 2012, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the most obvious one is London, right? I mean, I just think it was, as cliche as it sounds, it was a dream come true.
Oh, and on home turf as well.
It was, yeah. And I mean, I obviously grew up around there, so for me, it was just so special. I had so many people there.
At what point, is there a point though, because I love this with all sports people, and especially when there's all these amazing moments that they go through and when you retire as well, if there was one moment, if there's something or some moment, not even a race, but a part of a race, or is it a moment when you collect your first gold medal or the last one that stays with you more than anything else? What would that be?
I think it was getting the medal, the very first medal. I mean, it was just, I felt like I was living in someone else's life. And really randomly, Paul McCartney was in there and he started singing Hey Jude. And that is like just stuck in my head because thousands of people randomly started singing Hey Jude.
My goodness.
Wow, what a story.
And I've got to ask you, though, about the dogs. We've been talking about, funnily enough, we've been talking about dogs all morning as Ellie's thinking about adopting a dog, and then my wife is sending me other pictures of dogs. Now, what is the link with you and also Crufts, which has just amazed me?
Yeah, so Crufts have actually got a new initiative at the minute, which is actually a dog census. And it's not just for... They've relaunched as the Royal Kennel Club, used to be KC registered dogs, and that's what they used to include, whereas now they've opened it up to all dogs. And I mean, for me, I'm actually going to Crufts this year to present the Scruffs Award, and it's really special. Like, my dogs are crossbreeds, they're Sproodles. And for me, it's just really important that, you know, we're inclusive for all animals, because ultimately we care about their health and well-being. We want as much research as we can get about all dogs to help the longevity of these breeds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you love a dog, don't you?
Yeah, we all love dogs here.
Yeah. So is that going to be open for everyone just to enter their dog's details in, just so we know where we are in this country?
Yep. So anyone you can log on. It takes a few minutes. I did it for mine this morning. You just log on, answer all the questions, and then we can gain all the information that we can. Because, you know, all breeds are completely different. All dogs are completely different, and it's just really important that we get all that information together. We're hoping for 500,000 dogs to be on the census.
Wow, that'd be amazing.
Laura, I've got something for you. We've got a little challenge for you here. We do this every morning. We go through sporting birthdays, and every day we do this, and you've been on this a couple of times already when it's been your birthday, where everybody will guess the age of the sporting person. So seeing as you're here, I would like you to be involved in this. Are you happy with that?
Yep, go for it.
OK.
Right, here we go.
It may not be Crufts, but it's as good as we've got. Now, the first one then we have, and I'll probably have to explain, is Mick Shannon. Now, Mick Shannon, legendary England footballer for the 1970s, become very successful horse trainer. So how old is Mick Shannon today?
I'm going to say 79.
79. Ellie?
81.
Laura?
Oh, okay, see, I was going to go younger.
You go younger.
Okay, I'm going to say 73.
77 is the answer. 77 will go again. Friend of ours and also fellow Olympian, the great Chris Akabusi. We know Chris very well.
Happy
So
birthday,
how old
Chris.
is Chris? Now, we don't want to upset him by going too high on this.
No.
So what do you think?
65.
65 for
I'm going
Chris.
to go 66.
66. Laura?
I'm going to go 67.
Is the correct answer. That is you are one of the great Olympians. That's right. We're at one more because you are a Spurs fan, of course. So
I knew I liked her.
Destiny Udogie, Spurs defender. It has to be a picture of them playing against Arsenal. Could we have used another picture so it reminds me of what happened last weekend? Destiny Udogie. How old is Destiny Udogie today? Laura, I'm going to start with you. What do you reckon?
25, 26.
26.
All right, I'll go 25 then.
I'll go 24.
It's 23.
Oh,
but the winner is Dame Laura Kenny. Laura, lovely to see you. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much.
Always the competitive edge. I can see that. It's always there.
Do you see how pleased she was when she won? Lovely. Great stuff.
That was the moment that she'll talk about in future. It was that moment I won that birthday quiz.
It will be. Right, lovely. Paul, thank you very much indeed. Thanks,
Paul.
Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
We've got the papers for you in just a sec. First, though, here's the European forecast.
I hope we haven't forgotten anything.
Travel insurance, I tick that box.
Yeah, but remember what you forgot last year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
The heavy rain across parts of Greece due to Storm Adele is now moving into Turkey. We could see some high rainfall totals building up. There's going to be some thunder mixed in, even some large hail as well. Further west, and a few bits of rain across the southern parts of Italy. Elsewhere, mostly dry. Much of Spain actually largely dry, similar for southern France. But some wet weather pushing into northwestern parts of Spain and also Portugal, and that will feed further southeastwards through the weekend.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
And
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain's newsroom, weekday mornings from 9:30.
And all the way around it, there's going to be 1 million bricks with 1 million answered prayers, so people can take their smartphones, scan a prayer and see how it was answered. I'm joined now by Richard Gamble. You're the founder of this project. Just tell us about it and what inspired you.
So the concept is we want to bring hope to people, and anyone coming will be able to point their phone at any one of the bricks and their phone will light up and tell them the story of answered prayer. And God spoke to me about this 21 years ago, so it's been a roller coaster journey. So it's just a real thrill today that we can get started, and we want to proclaim to the nation that Jesus is alive, he listens and he answers our prayers.
And how important do you think this is now in this day and age?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we're doing is we're not just collecting the answered prayers from now, but from all of history. So we want to preserve the Christian heritage of the nation and get schools and colleges to come and visit and find out all the stories of what God's done through our history. And I think particularly now that's more important than ever.
And you didn't want it to look like a religious monument as such, like Christ the Redeemer?
Yeah, when we ran a global competition with the Royal Institute of British Architects, we didn't want it to have the Christian iconography. We wanted to be a stunning structural design that basically encourages people to come along, have a look, and when they come they'll be able to see all these tiny bricks on it and realise how big a million is. And I hope as a piece of art that's going to inspire millions of people to think about praying.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Griffith.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News. Welcome back to Breakfast. We're going to have a quick look at the papers with Nigel Nelson and Claire Pearsall. Morning, you two.
Morning.
And Claire, should we start with President Macron and voluntary national service in France that he's rolling out amid a threat from Russia?
Well, this is it. So Emmanuel Macron announced a grand plan to have voluntary national service for young people, so mainly 18 and 19-year-olds. So it looks to be voluntary to begin with. However, if they continue on, then they will get paid as regular soldiers. This is the €800 a month, which is not particularly high wage for that kind of job. And it will just bring into question, are more countries going to look at national service to bolster up their armed forces, and where you're going to put them? And France have obviously believed that they need to be ready for any particular aggression from Putin and Russia as a whole. So just looking to see how they do that. But I'm not convinced that conscripting, which this will eventually turn into, young people is going to make the difference here.
Why not? You like the armed forces, don't you? And getting people involved in that sort of mindset?
Yeah, provided it's voluntary. And at the moment, I mean, Claire's point is there might be a bit of mission creep here. But at the moment, it's voluntary. And yeah, I'm in favour of that. And the idea that they serve for 10 months, so they get some basic training, then they go into the reserves. And so over the years, you have a nice big...
A big reserve.
Yeah, a big load of reserves. In Norway, they do something similar with 17-year-olds, but it's compulsory.
But you can see how well it went down when Rishi Sunak announced last year ahead of the election that he was considering young people do that. So I'm not sure that it'll catch on over here.
But if it's voluntary, do you think perhaps we should be?
My concern is that it wouldn't stay voluntary, and there will be mission creep and it will be conscription, and there's no point having people in the armed forces who don't want to be there. I think that's the last thing we need.
Can we squeeze in very quickly, Nigel, the Telegraph, which says NHS managers can return to work 6 months after being paid £160,000 to quit?
Yep, this is NHS England, which is being abolished, and so 18,000 jobs are to go there. They're getting quite a generous redundancy settlement. 24 months they can have, and after 6 months they can return not to headquarters, but they can return to the NHS. I think given that their jobs are all being scrapped, it's not unreasonable to say if they've got the skills, they should be employed elsewhere.
Well, yeah, but it's throwing money. I mean, I get that, but it also means we're throwing away money for nothing.
It does, and it's quite interesting, the piece in the Telegraph, it says where the money will come from, and it's being brought forward from future Department of Health budgets. So they're
future ones?
Yeah, so this isn't... We can't afford to pay for it now, so we're going to put it on the government's credit card.
Nigel, just to finish, can we look at something quite random today? Dogs on dope is the headline.
Indeed they are. This is not dogs actually sort of taking a toke off a spliff or anything like that. This is actually medicinal cannabis. Idea being that if your dog is aggressive, the medicinal cannabis will calm him down.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, you should put a warning out there, though, that
just don't do this.
Ordinary cannabis, should you partake... I'm raising my eyebrows at you, but it's quite dangerous for dogs, actually.
Yes,
so don't be tempted if you do have any at home to sprinkle it in the dog.
That's a good warning to put across.
You will actually, your dog will become really, really ill.
Sick. But
also
also CBD, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the CBD. But even with medicinal CBD, I think you need to consult your vet first before you start using it on your animals at home. But it does make sense if there is an aggression problem that cannot be sorted by training alone, then it's not a bad thing. But I think people really do need to train their dogs first.
Yeah, but it might be. I don't know if dogs are like men, that when they get older they get grumpier. Nigel?
Probably.
Yeah. Have you found that?
Feed him some after eights and he's fine.
No, dogs can't even have after eights either to calm them down, can they? All right, you two. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Do keep your views coming in on any of those stories we've been discussing. gbnews.com/you'll-say.
First up, here's the weather with Alex Burkell.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain. Some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures in the south still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then, as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast. Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England, and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for helping us reach 8 million followers across social media. Thank you for making us a part of your daily life.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Drivers on the M90 Friarton Bridge should take care due to strong winds. An accident on the M4 eastbound near junction 27 at High Cross. In Norfolk, all lanes of the A11 northbound between the junctions with the A1075 and A47 are closed due to a collision. In Stockton-on-Tees, a broken-down vehicle on the A66 eastbound between the A135 and the junction with the A19 causes a lane closure. And on the trains, buses replace trains between Corkicle and Whitehaven. Poor weather affects ScotRail, causing disruptions between Glasgow Central and East Kilbride. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's the final week to see how you can enjoy Christmas on us. First, we'll give you an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash. Then we'll give you a further £10,000 cash to spend on all your Christmas presents, even the tree. Christmas lunch, that's on us too, with £1,000 in shopping vouchers to spend at your favourite supermarket. Finally, a GB News Christmas goodie bag. For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world. Am I allowed to talk then? No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Good morning. The budget budget will lead to dismal living standards.
Experts warn the Chancellor of the impact on workers who will be left thousands of pounds worse off by stealth taxes.
Well, earnings after tax are expected to rise by just 0.5% over each of the next 5 years.
A budget that promises change but delivers heavy price hikes for millions. Can this government turn around the British economy?
Meanwhile, in the wake of all of this, Sir Keir Starmer has scrapped a flagship pledge in the Workers' Rights Bill championed by Angela Rayner.
And of course, it is Black Friday. Our technology editor Aaron Brown is across all of the latest deals.
Yes, I've got the lowdown on the deals and discounts that you genuinely can't afford to miss.
Here in Amazon's fulfilment centre in Bristol, they're picking, packing and shipping some of those orders. £6.4 billion expected to be spent on Black Friday today in the UK.
School staffing shortages are harming children's education and safety, according to a new report, with unions warning there aren't enough workers to meet pupils' needs or keep them safe.
President Donald Trump has said that he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries. It's after 2 National Guard members were shot in Washington, D.C.
Good morning. The strongest winds today are across northern and western parts of Scotland, but tomorrow we're going to see some very wet and windy weather spilling its way across the central southern parts of England and Wales. Stick around for more details.
It's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello and this is GB News Breakfast.
Right, let's crack straight on with the politics because there's lots to get through this morning, and we're very pleased to be joined by the Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us this morning. Can we start with the Workers' Rights Bill? Because a key element of that, we know, has now gone, much to the chagrin of some of your backbenchers. But it is breaking a manifesto promise, isn't it?
So the Employment Rights Bill represents the biggest upgrade to workers' rights in a generation. It includes lots of important protections around sick pay, parental leave, 0 hours contracts. There's one area on unfair dismissal where discussions have been taking place in recent days between employers and trade unions to find a way through, because the risk was that we wouldn't be able to deliver the bill in next April, which would have held things up by another year. And we didn't want to see that happen because millions of people across our country are set to benefit from these changes, and many of your viewers will have better rights and protections at work because of this bill.
But it's the second break of a manifesto pledge in so many days. The left of your party isn't going to be happy. Angela Rayner isn't going to be happy. The unions aren't happy. They've been telling the papers that already. We could see another welfare rebellion on our hands here, couldn't we?
So we said in our manifesto that we wanted to bring forward important day one protections. We also said that we consult with business and trade unions and others to make that happen, and we've done that. So there's been a pragmatic way forward that's been found. There will still be a big improvement around unfair dismissal rights. No longer 2 years you have to wait in order to make a claim, but down to 6 months. That means we can continue with the passage of the bill through Parliament. It means that from next April we hope that so many of those rights will be delivered, and that will make a huge difference to working people.
Well, yes, I mean, you say that, but you're not really addressing the issue of a manifesto pledge being broken and what impact that's going to have with your backbenchers. I mean, there was certainly a sense with the budget that it's the tail wagging the dog in the Labour Party at the moment.
Well, sometimes on these things you have to be pragmatic in order to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that if those discussions hadn't taken place with trade unions who've been involved in all of this, then there was a real risk that bringing forward all of the wider rights would have been delayed by another year. So rather than those rights being enforced from April, it would be until 2027. We didn't want that to happen. So those discussions have taken place, and this does represent the biggest upgrade to workers' rights in a generation. I understand how strongly Labour MPs feel about this. I do too. Our trade unions see that as well, and they want to see progress on it, and we're delivering progress on it.
Can we talk about the budget and the fallout from all of that? Because economic experts today in the papers saying that the budget is going to lead to lacklustre growth, truly dismal living standards, workers being left thousands of pounds worse off by stealth taxes. When you promised us change, this isn't change for the better.
So as the Chancellor set out, we had to make fair and necessary choices in order to, for example, invest more in our NHS. We promised in our manifesto we deliver 2 million more NHS appointments. We've delivered more than 5 million more, and this will allow us to continue to invest in the NHS. We do recognise that we're asking people to make a contribution towards that, but we're also putting in place lots of cost of living measures that will make a big difference. So £150 off energy bills, rail fares frozen for the first time in 30 years, prescription charges frozen, expansion of free school meals, cutting child poverty. Those are all big and important steps forward and very much aligned with the priorities of the British people.
Yeah,
go on, Danny.
Living standards are expected to stagnate. Average disposable income, so that's a measure of people's earnings after tax, to rise by just 0.5% over the next 5 years. That is the second lowest growth in living standards on record. That is not making people's lives easier or better. It's making it harder.
And that's the current projection, and we've defied expectation on growth, which has been revised up this year, and we want to defy expectation around growth in the years to come and also around living standards.
Well, it's a gamble, isn't it?
So many of the changes we're making are putting money, well, growth is a big challenge. It has been for a number of years, but of course we're not complacent about this. We know that people have experienced lots of challenges around the cost of living over many, many years, and it's why we haven't waited around to act. It's why we've invested in taking £150 off energy bills, much, much more besides, that are all about addressing the pressures that families are facing.
But you say you want to address what people care about the most. One thing they do care about the most is their children. And Unison this morning, you know, a key union in this country, is saying that people are very concerned and staff are very concerned about their children's education. They say it's suffering because of shortages. Unison's head of education says it paints a bleak picture of an underappreciated workforce going above and beyond, and it's harder to keep pupils safe in our schools. That's under your watch.
Well, we've had 15 months and there's more to come, and we're investing more already. But I do recognise the challenges that Unison and others identify, especially around support staff. This week, actually, we're celebrating the brilliant work of our support staff through Stars in Our Schools, which Unison lead, which is about recognising the amazing contribution that support staff make. But we are going to deliver better terms and conditions for support staff. I know that there are also questions around pay. But as a government, we're investing more in education, more in schools, more in expanding childcare and new free breakfast clubs, and much more besides. Is there more to do? Of course there is. There's a lot more that we want to do, and we will continue to make change happen.
Well, in terms of investing, how are you going to fund special educational needs and disabilities, the SEND provision? A lot of it was covered in private education, which obviously now is affected by VAT. There was a shortfall years ago of running up to the billions of pounds when it came to this. How are you going to fund this in state schools?
So the most important thing in all of this is how we deliver better outcomes and support for children with SEND. You know, your viewers, if they have children with SEND, know that the system hasn't been working well for years and years. What happened at the budget is that the Office of Budget Responsibility for the first time took account of council deficits that have run up over years and put them onto the government balance sheet. But that's there for now. It's not coming out of school budgets. We're not making cuts. In fact, we're investing more every year into support for children with SEND and every year into support for children in our schools. But there is a big challenge that we see there, and it's why later on next year we'll be setting out our plans for how we deliver a better system of support so that parents don't have to fight so hard, and so that children's needs are identified much earlier.
Okay, Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson, thank you very much for joining this morning on GB News Breakfast.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk to our chief political correspondent, Catherine Forster. What do you make of it, Catherine?
Well, there are very real worries about the SEND provision. The bill for it is astronomical. It's going to eventually not be funded by councils because it's putting a huge strain on them, and be funded from government funding. We still don't know exactly where from, but the worry is that it will come out of schools' budgets, which would equate to a 5% cut. So I don't think there was much, I didn't hear much about education in the budget, certainly. And I'm just really struck by the difference in the rhetoric before the general election, that all the money for things was going to come from growth, when growth now, we're looking at a maximum of 1.4, 1.5% for the rest of the Parliament. And, you know, we're not going to raise taxes on working people, just on VAT on private schools and non-doms. And we've now had a combined £66 billion of tax rises. And then to cap it all, these absolutely dreadful figures on real disposable income growth, like 0.5% a year. And that's the problem, isn't it? Since the financial crisis, we've had a pretty flat economy, real wages haven't gone up, people feeling that they're not getting any better off and public services are getting worse. And if Labour can't turn that around, it's very difficult to see, you know, how things improve. There's a poll out this morning from YouGov. 48% of people think the budget is unfair, only 21% fair. That's the second worst score for any budget ever, except, of course, for Liz Truss's mini-budget. 50% of families think they'll be worse off. Just 3% of people think they're going to be better off under this budget. And, you know, the tax threshold freeze and the lift on the cap of child benefit from 2 children, a clear majority of people oppose both of those things, and there's a direct relation between one and the other.
All right, Catherine, thank you very much indeed.
Now, just a reminder that you can become a friend of GB News for free, and if you become a friend of GB News, you can vote in our You Decide polls. You can scan the QR code, or you can head to our website, gbnews.com. Today's question is:
which government is most responsible for the rise in asylum seeker hotels? Is it the Conservatives or the Labour Party? 10% of you say the Conservatives, but 90% say Labour. That's not what they're going to want to hear. We always hear about the 14 years of mismanagement that they've had to inherit and all the rest of it. But 90% of you saying, well, actually, you're in charge now. It's your fault.
I think people in asylum hotels up 13%, wasn't it, in the figures yesterday?
Yeah, it has got worse.
Anyway, let's look at happier things, shall we? And the Great British Giveaway. It is actually the final day to grab your chance to win your Christmas on us. Hayley Sparks is live at Leeds Castle in Kent for us this morning. Morning to you, Hayley.
Good morning, Ellie, and good morning to you at home. Yes, we are live from the Neverland Christmas experience here at Leeds Castle in Kent. Beside me here is the beautiful Mermaid Lagoon from the Peter Pan story. It's absolutely beautiful. But I'm here to remind you that time is running out to enter our Great British Giveaway. We have a competition prize value of over £40,000. This prize is incredible. You're going to receive absolutely everything before Christmas. So £30,000 to spend in 2026. We're going to give you £10,000, so that could buy all of your Christmas presents, and also a £1,000 shopping voucher. Perhaps you might want to use that on your Christmas lunch. And if that wasn't enough, you'll also receive our limited edition GB News goodie bag containing Christmas baubles to put on your tree. What more could you want? That's your entire Christmas sorted, and you will receive the prize in time for Christmas. But you won't if you don't enter. Today is your last chance because lines close at 4 p.m. and I really don't want you to miss out. Here are all the details that you need to enter, and I wish you the very best of luck.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB17 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 28th of November. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 8th of December. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck.
Indeed. Right, it's Black Friday, so our technology editor Aaron Brown is going to be joining us in a moment with the very latest deals.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health, Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're
the failure
deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Griffith.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m.
only on GB News.
It's Black Friday.
It is.
At 9:17. Have you done any shopping already?
You have.
Yeah, I've done a little bit today, actually. During commercial breaks, not during work time. Anyway, if you want a good deal, you need to find out where they are and what to get. Technology editor Aaron Brown is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
What you spotted?
We're going to talk about holidays to start with. So you can get up to £300 off a package holiday at the moment, and it all depends on how much you want to spend. So British Airways, they're offering £300 off their package deals, but you need to spend £10,000 on the holiday to unlock that discount.
Ouch.
So it's not going to be for everyone, yeah. TUI, however, are offering the same £300 discount, but it's at a much lower threshold. So you only need to spend £3,500 with one of their package deals or their Marella cruise ships, and you'll get the same £300 off per person. If you're rather more of a staycation kind of person, the ticketing app TrainPal, which is trying to make a name for itself in the UK, they're offering 50% off rail cards.
Oh, that's good.
Off all of their rail cards, and it starts from midnight 01 tomorrow, and there's only 400 codes. You'd probably want to set an alarm if you want to make sure
Get a wiggle on.
Yes.
That's usually about 30 quid, isn't it,
exactly.
for a rail card?
Yeah, and you save a third on all your rail travel.
Oh, sad news is, the one I'm closest to is the senior one now.
Oh, no.
Never mind.
This will be you, isn't it? 26 to 30?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Broadband. Almost 9 million people in the UK at the moment are out of contract with their broadband, which means they can switch at a moment's notice and start saving every single month. And then because you've signed up in Black Friday, when 2 years comes up for renewal, it's Black Friday again, there'll be some other deals to switch to. So it's a good time to switch.
Clever.
Virgin Media is probably the one I'd point to at the moment. They're offering £0 broadband bills for the first 3 months of your contract, so you won't pay anything until February 2023. 26, which is great if you're saving for Christmas and all the other things this time of year.
That's
When
great.
bills do start, they start from £27.99 a month, and for that you'll get around 500 megabytes download speed, which is about twice the average in the UK, so it's a good deal anyway, to be honest. Samsung, I know we've talked about them before, the Galaxy S25, not the, well, soon to be potentially outdated flagship phone, but if you buy one at the moment, you can claim a Galaxy laptop worth £399.
Oh.
You just need to submit your receipt, no matter where you bought it from, AO, Amazon, John Lewis, Currys, all the usual suspects, and they will send it to you within a month.
Right,
Brilliant. Good stuff.
Pretty good deal.
Sticking with phones, just for a last few, Apple are offering gift cards up to £200 across their laptops, tablets, iPhones, all the rest of it. It is worth shopping around, though, because if you'd rather an actual discount, some of the shops like Amazon, AO are offering money off.
OK. Aaron, thank you for being across all the best deals today. You're going to continue throughout the rest of the day, aren't you?
I think I'm done, actually.
Oh,
I was going to go do some shopping.
Go on. Oh, great. Oh,
All right.
You're on Britain's newsroom, apparently. You've got more to come. More deals to come.
Doing that now. Well, look, a lot of these deals, as we've been hearing, are through Amazon. So Jack Carson is at an Amazon distribution centre for us this morning. Hi, Jack.
Morning to you. We're still here at the fulfilment centre in Bristol. Of course, we were up earlier on with the robots and the pallets. We're now down here, still joined by Richard Griffith, the general manager. So kind of tell us then, where in the process are we now?
Yeah, so we're in the pack process now, and behind us we'll have millions of units working its way through this process over the course of today. And what you'll see just behind us is many of the items, Black Friday deals, heading out in packaging suited to that item, all of which is now sustainable packaging across our business.
So how then does the item get decided into what size box? Because we all have boxes and different things, so how does it all get decided?
Yes, we've got very, very clever systems that use measurements and attributes of each of our units and decide which box suits that item best.
And of course, some of the black boxes you might be able to see on your screen now have all come from upstairs where we were, and so this brings it down then to the people who kind of physically kind of pack things into the boxes.
Correct, yes. All of the black totes, as we've seen earlier in the processes, are sorted to separate lines and placed onto those lines based on the packaging types that are going to be used. And from here, the shipments head onto the miles of conveyors we have at this building, onto the blue prime trucks and down to our delivery stations to our customers.
All right, Richard, thank you so much once again for giving us a little bit of almost sense in this whole process, how all your deals get to you from Black Friday.
Right, up next, it's Britain's Newsroom with Alex and Miriam. Good morning, you two.
Good
what
morning.
have you got?
Good morning. Well, I don't know if you've seen this breaking news today. Trump is pausing migration from what he calls third world countries. And it's not just that. He goes into a range of other immigration issues that he wants to stop in the country. We're going to be digging into all of that. It's sensational stuff.
And also, the immigration figures released yesterday showed record numbers of young people fleeing the country, tens of thousands of under 35s leaving. So we'll be asking, why are some of our best and brightest leaving Britain?
It's a worry, isn't it?
It is a worry. I know so many young people, so many friends of mine that have actually left the country already. So I really, really want to talk about that. Another manifesto pledge broken, perhaps? Workers' rights bill?
Well, the Education Secretary would not... we put that to her loads of times. She would not admit or acknowledge that a manifesto pledge had been broken.
That seems to be a running theme, doesn't it?
Angela Rayner might have different ideas. It's really interesting, isn't it?
Interesting to see what Angela Rayner says about this.
And in the budget, they had a brief moment
we've got all
of
of
calm.
that coming up after the weather.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello again, very good morning to you. I'm here with your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, across parts of Scotland, it was a very windy night and there are more strong winds to come as we go through this morning in particular. We're talking gusts of 60, 70 miles per hour, perhaps even up to 75 miles per hour around some northern and western coasts. The wind's easing a little bit as we go into the afternoon, but staying pretty blustery and some hefty showery bursts of rain. Some hail mixed in with this, even a few rumbles of thunder and some sleet and snow over higher ground. Elsewhere, we're talking sunny spells and some bursts of showery rain pushing through, and temperatures In the south, still a touch above average for the time of year, but markedly lower than they were yesterday. Then, as we go through later on into this evening, still blustery, still quite windy across many parts of Scotland, particularly towards the northeast. Orkney and Shetland seeing some strong gusts as we go through the evening. Plenty more showery bursts of rain, sleet and hill snow pushing through as well, and also showery rain feeding in across much of Northern Ireland too. A slightly drier story across much of England and Wales, albeit a few bursts of rain over some parts of northern England and a band of showers clearing away from the southeast. So some drier, clearer weather for a time as we go through this evening and overnight, but quite quickly we are then going to see some more wet and windy weather spilling in from the southwest, pushing its way northeastwards across much of central southern England and Wales. Further north, a few showers still, but some clear spells, and here a touch of frost quite likely in some rural spots. Further south, with the unsettled weather pushing through, it is going to be a little bit milder. And then it's a wet and windy day across the southern third, maybe half of the UK as the weather system makes its way northeastwards. Watch out for strengthening winds as we go through tomorrow around some eastern coastal parts of England in particular. Could be some strong gusts here, and the heavy rain could build up, causing some issues as well. Further north, a brighter, drier picture, but quite chilly here as well.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for making us the fastest growing news website in the nation. Because the truth matters, and so do you.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Motorists should drive cautiously on the M90 Friarton Bridge due to high winds. An incident on the M4 eastbound between junction 29 Castleton and junction 26 Malpas has been resolved, but congestion may occur. A collision on the A46 northbound in South Gloucestershire has closed all lanes, with normal traffic expected by 11:47 this morning. Kent's A21 northbound congestion is causing a 15-minute delay, expected to clear by 10. And on the trains, buses are replacing trains between Corkicle and Whitehaven, with ScotRail disruptions between Glasgow Central and East Kilbride. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Nana Queer, weekends from 3 p.m.
And I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about autism and why you got involved with this, because some people don't know the story as to why you set up Anna Kennedy Online.
Well, I have two sons. They're now 32 and 35, and I'm proud to say that my eldest son, Patrick, is in Stockholm at the moment on his own, so that's like a big step for him to go on holiday, and he's loving it. So they both were diagnosed fairly young, and the support at the time was just non-existent.
Yeah.
So we had to set up our own school, and then we set up a vocational college for my youngest son, Angelo.
Now, how do you know that they're autistic? Is there a blood test? Is it something where you have a list of symptoms? Or, because some people say, oh, I've got ADHD and this and that, and I think sometimes people conflate it with autism. Are there parallels with the two, or are they totally separate? Because it's confusing.
They're very different from each other, both Patrick and Angelo. So Angelo was diagnosed fairly early at 2.5, 3. He passed all the milestones, and then he just lost everything. His speech, eye contact, didn't want to be touched, didn't even want me to hug him at the time, running from one end of the room to the other, squealing, and it was just like, what is going on? And as a mum, you're thinking, what have I done wrong? Have I done something wrong?
Oh, no.
Patrick was diagnosed fairly early again, but he was premature, and I thought the difficulties that he was having because he was 11 weeks premature, I thought, is it because he had a bit of a difficult start, in and out of hospital, and then he was diagnosed at 4, and then we found out when he was 7, when he was struggling at school. He was finding school difficult, being bullied. So it's an autism spectrum condition, and if you feel that there might be, something that I'm not quite sure, I can't get a handle on it, please go and see your GP and just ask for your child to be assessed. But the difficulty at the minute is the waiting list is so long to get a diagnosis.
GB News, the People's Channel.
All too often, people will be sitting at home watching a press conference live, and they'll hear loads of questions being asked, and they'll be thinking, that's not my question. That's not my concern.
We don't care whose feathers we ruffle. We ask the questions that you want answering.
You're all standing on the street protesting and want to have an open discussion.
My name is Patrick Christie's. I do a show for GB News in the UK. Is it possible to talk to you quickly?
Journalism in this country has been a cosy world full of groupthink until now.
Well, this is the best view ever of Whitehall, looking out across all the tractor drivers of England who've come together to make their point.
Hello, so as you can see, I'm here in Westminster as the protest begins.
Yes, I'm very much in the thick of it.
Look, we're challenging narratives here at GB News, and that's what sets us apart.